And welcome back to the Tiger Sports Network pregame show. I am your host, Matthew Lynn, as we are getting ready for the varsity action tonight from Brother Thomas More Stadium, as we have the St. X Tigers coming in with a 5-1 record, as the visiting Manual Crimson Rams coming in with a 6-0 undefeated record, as they are perfect so far this season. Here, as we're going to get ready here at the studio for some pregame action here, as we'll play an interview from Coach Kevin Wallace of the St. X Tigers.
Back at St. X, John Spears closing in on kickoff between the St. X Tigers and the Manual Crimsons. I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Kevin Wallace. I guess this is a big one?
Oh, I'd say so. Obviously, it's a first district game, but playing outside of the district this year in the playoffs for the first time in a few years, we're matched up with the Male Fern Creek, Bullitt East Southern District. So if things go to form,
if seeds hold,
right? If seeds hold, the winner of this game would have an easier bracket because you wouldn't have to face Male in the first two rounds.
And the loser of this game in the second round is in all likelihood going to play at Male.
At Male, that's correct. And the third round obviously is dictated by RPI. So a win for us puts us on a really good RPI path. A win for us gets us out of the Male bracket, and strategically sets up the first three rounds of the playoffs in a much better fashion than what it would be with a loss. The loss is not fatal for either team, but it just gives you a better seeding, a better comfort zone, and you're going to play home games in the playoffs.
You got your first shutout. I don't normally do research, but you got your first shutout last week. 30 whatever it was to nothing over Ryle. Again, I don't do research. Since 1998, your team has 72 shutouts.
Well, that's not my team.
That's like Greg Maddox.
That's a lot of St. X teams. That's not my team.
No. Your Bowling Green team.
Oh, really?
These are Kevin Wallace teams since '98.
Well, you did some research.
72 shutouts.
Well, I've had good players.
And you're an offensive coach.
Yeah, I am. So that tells you somebody else is doing a really good job of coaching, and our players are doing a really good job of playing. John, if you look at it, our first team defense has not given up many touchdowns, only one touchdown to a team from Kentucky.
And we've talked about this off the air, but this is a defensive-centric year in Jefferson County. When you're talking about Male, Trinity, St. X, Manual, throw Ballard in the mix as well. Mm-hmm. There aren't a lot of great offenses that scare these really great defenses.
And Manual may be the one team that has an explosive offensive player that can change the game with Washburn. I think he's a difference maker that we don't have, that Trinity doesn't have, that Male, with Gainey out, Male really doesn't have. I mean, Antonio Harris can be a game changer, but Washburn is going to get the ball a large number of times, and if you don't get him down at the second level, he's got a potential of scoring anywhere on the field. So we've got to do a great job of tackling. We've got to do a great job of block destruction and making sure that we don't give up big plays.
Do you have to do to Washburn what the team was able to do against Daniel Swinney?
Oh, sure. I mean, is
that the blueprint?
Yeah, you want to get a lot of hats to the ball, and with Swinney, we did that. We had one play that I think he had over 11 yards in the game, and that's the kind of blueprint that we've got to have. And much like we had to keep the ball out of the dangerous receivers' hands, they've got a couple of guys that they'll try to throw the ball deep to. I think they're going to take a look at the Trinity film. They're going to see us get beat on the corner on 3 occasions, and they're going to try to lob the ball up to Blakey a number of times in this game just to get a lot of cheap yards with a quick fix.
Offensively, you get your quarterback back, Trevor Havel, so you got that two-headed monster back at quarterback. I know you like Adam Boone to be one of your wide receivers.
Yeah.
What's the offensive philosophy against this Manual defense?
You're going to see Adam all over the field. Obviously, the night that we played at Elder, Adam showed why he can be our top receiver. And we're going to try to get the ball to him while he's there. But this is a game where we're also going to have to use Adam in the backfield to get another hat in the box, to get an advantage, to run the football. I would like to see that we could limit that to 7 or 8 carries. But ideally, it'd be nice to see Adam Boone finish tonight with about 6 catches and 8 carries and 14 touches and being really productive with the football.
Your running back by committee, nobody's really excelled ahead of the other 2, but you've got 3 guys that have done a pretty admirable job.
They've done a good job. They've taken care of the ball, and they've done a great job in pass protection, which I've been really pleased because they're not big guys. and they're going to stick their nose in there and help us. And really pleased with how Mike Curry has come along, the sophomore. I think that he's getting better and better every week. And then the other two, obviously, with Dontre and Yates, they've both done an admirable job all year long.
Injury-wise, how do you feel coming in with the second half of the season?
The only thing, we're not really missing anybody that played last week. Teddy Myers is going to be out for a month or so. And
you can't catch a break.
No, it's been a tough 2 years for Teddy, but there's nobody that I've ever been around that has a better attitude and more of a positive impact on his teammates, even if he's hurt, than Teddy does. So we're going to say our prayers that he's able to recover and get back during the playoffs, because we've talked all year with him about getting to November.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time as always. Head coach Kevin Wallace will be back with more. You're watching St. X High School football on the Tiger Sports Network and listening on Big X Sports Radio.
Welcome back. After hearing Coach Wallace's keys to the game, we're going to present ours. The Tigers' offense is going to need to be explosive as ever tonight, as they're going to be facing the hardest team all season. The Tigers will get their starting quarterback this week, the junior quarterback Trevor Havel, as he comes off his first game back after coming off injury versus Trinity last week. Havel leads the Tigers in passing touchdowns with 11 to only 3 interceptions on the season, as well as bringing along an impressive 92.2 quarterback rating this season. That's according to Max Preps. The Tigers' offense will have to be on point, as well as they're going to want to utilize their other weapons, such as wide receiver Jackson Camposano and Zach Marks, as they had big weeks last week. Don't forget the freshman Marlon Harbin, who's had an impressive freshman year so far playing with the Varsity Tigers. The Tigers are also going to want to make sure their ground game is prevalent today with their running backs Davis Yates, Jontre Richardson, and sophomore Michael Curry. If the Tigers can get this ground game rolling, and they're going to want to make sure they use that option that's so prevalent in their playbook, as quarterback Trevor Havel can throw on the run and hurt you with his escapability. On the flip side of the ball, the defensive side, they're going to want to make sure they're red hot and shut down this Crimson Ram team, as they are undefeated so far this season. They're going to make sure they do a great job like last week getting those turnovers, especially off that pick six from the defense, getting them the momentum back. On the other sideline, this Manual Crimson Rams team, undefeated to this point, as they are the only team left that is 6-0. They're going to make sure they keep attacking through the air, as that's what's scored them most of their points so far, as they create one-on-one matchups against the Tigers with their wide receivers. They're going to make sure they utilize these opportunities to perfection. They've done this all season, and it's proven effective as they're still undefeated. The Crimson Rams are going to want to also make sure their defense plays lights out tonight, not allowing any plays downfield, as the Tigers can hurt you on the ground and through the air with their players. The Rams are also going to make sure they need to play to perfection, as this is going to be their hardest road game yet, as they're coming into hostile territory on a Friday night with the Rage Cage definitely going to be packed, as these are the two best teams in the state going head-to-head with major playoff implications, as this is going to matter who plays male in the second round of the playoffs, as that game can be home or away. They're going to make sure the Crimson Rams avoid the upset today. With our teams introduced, I'm going to send you up to John Spears and Tony Burke on Big X Radio. You've been watching the Tiger Sports Network pregame show. I'm your host, Matthew Lynn, as at halftime, we'll be back with our Tiger Sports Network halftime show.
serious here for the next 3 weeks.
It does, John. And Manual's the only undefeated team actually in 6A. So that shows you how a lot of parity. But when district time starts, those are the games that count because we've only got 4 weeks of the regular season left. And then the playoffs start and you lose, you go home. So you want to be in a good spot going into playoffs. We talk about it every year. It is how the districts and the regions set up, and it's huge when it comes down to the end of the year.
And the Tigers are wearing our least favorite uniforms, their favorite uniforms, Tony, black with green numerals. Co-captains getting ready. The season co-captains are Adam Boone and Tyler Boggs. Tonight they are joined by Christian Coleman and Zach Marks. Christian Coleman, interesting story, Tony. He started the season at safety. He's moved to cornerback. Tigers are without Cooper Smith tonight, who's at a baseball invite-only weekend down in Florida, something that's been planned for a long time. So Kevin Wallace and the coaching staff knew that Cooper Smith was not going to be here tonight. So you're going to see Christian Coleman at corner, and you're going to see a couple different guys rotating in to return kickoffs and punts, including Jackson Camposano. Keep that in mind. Your normal kick returner not here tonight.
Yeah, and Marks has run punts back, too, besides for Cooper Smith. The Tigers take the field. Those things are big, but to me, the biggest thing tonight is how the St. X offense plays. They have to move the football tonight, and I know I listened to you and your buddy Buzz Frank on the radio on your show at noon on this channel, and it's going to be a defensive battle, and whoever plays, I think, the best on offense will win this game tonight.
Trey Ryan, along with Benny Tashida.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Be careful how you say that. Two of the co-captains, along with Drew McClure and Amari Townsend for the Manual Crimsons. Crimsons in their white uniforms, black pants. So black pants on both teams tonight. Red numerals for the Crimson and the traditional Ram helmet as the captains head to midfield for the opening coin toss. A lot of media here tonight, Tony. Biggest game in town?
I believe so, John. Trinity and Ballard's big, but it's not this big because you're looking at the number 1 team in the state and the number 2 team in the state if you look at the rankings. So definitely the biggest game in town.
Don't forget, you can email or text us on the text line during the broadcast. Let us know where you're listening. 502-414-1450. That's the text number. If you're watching on YouTube, you can send it to that number as well. I'm again watching on YouTube, says Steve Mitchell, class of 77. I think he's probably still in Russell Springs, Tony, and he says, rope the Rams. I like that, rope the Rams tonight. We'll take, we're going to wait for the coin toss here before we take another break.
Well, according to this, John, the RPI Manual is number 1,
yes.
St. X is number 2. So that shows you how big this game is RPI-wise.
And Trinity, of course, they hurt their RPI because they play so many games out of state. That's a big one for them against Ballard tonight because they lost to St. X. So it's a game that they need to win tonight if you're Trinity. Or, man, your RPI could go way down to where you're in a lot of tough environments in the first couple rounds of the playoffs.
Well, and you got to remember, Coach Stoner, he hasn't been the head coach at Manual, so all the past history of Manual not being able to get over the top against the Tigers, that kind of goes out the window. Manual, I would imagine, has a different mindset coming in here, thinking that they might be the better team, where in the past they've been snake bit against the Tigers, and Tigers blew them out during the regular season last year in a close game. In the playoffs, 18-16, a game Manual could have won.
Manual will get the ball first. We'll take a quick break, 1-minute break, and come back with football. You're listening to
officials to enforce sportsmanship and school athletics emphasize positive values. All parties have worked hard to create a sense
Our spotter, Trevor Kelsey, running things back at the studio.
Calling the plays.
Manual will get the ball first, Tony. They will drop to the school end of the field. This is a strategy St. X has used in the past here, Tony, because with a 7 o'clock game, the passing game is going to be difficult in the first part of the first quarter for Manual because the receiver's going to be looking back into the sun. We saw it affect Ryle last week.
And it will, but later the season gets here.
It's already lower.
It's already pretty much down there. So I don't know if it's going to be as much a factor tonight, John, but Manual will get the football, so the Tiger defense will trot out on the field, and we'll get underway here in just a second.
Tigers have won 4 straight in the series. They lead the overall series 67 wins, 31 losses, 2 ties. Tigers won last year in the regular season 42-10, and then their closest shave in the postseason was right here at Brother Thomas More Stadium, where they escaped the Crimsons 18-16. Landon Akers will kick it away for the Tigers. He consistently put it in the end zone last week. We'll see if he can do it tonight.
2 Blakeys back
there. A couple
there.
of Blakeys deep. Jeremiah, the senior, and Aiden, the sophomore, the 2 leading receivers for the Crimsons. Akers booms it high and deep and well into the back of the end zone, and Manual will start 1st and 10 at their own 20. Elijah Creech, the junior, was the starting quarterback at the beginning of the year. He got injured, and now the coach's son, freshman Tyree Stoner, has been the quarterback since. 5'11", 175-pounder. They love to run the football, Tony. He doesn't throw it a lot, and you would think that would feed right into the defense of the Tigers.
Well, he's only thrown it 39 times this year, and he's completed 23, 1 interception, 4 touchdowns for 385 yards. That's in 5 games. But we expect Manual not to throw it off him, but I expect him to, John, maybe to try to get the ball out quick into the flat.
And you'll see a lot of Zeke Washburn tonight. He's averaging 108 yards a game on the ground. He's in the backfield, pistol formation on 1st down. Quick throw high and deep down the left side, and it is caught. There is a flag on the field. He caught it anyway. That's one of the Blakeys, Jeremiah Blakey, the senior. And if you heard Coach Wallace, he said they're going to take some shots deep, throw it up for Blakey.
Well, just what we said, that they would not throw the ball very often, so they go long. They complete it.
40-yard gain.
Had the ball at the St. X 40-yard line. Just a one-on-one race down the sideline, and the ball was actually a little bit underthrown, but a great catch by Blakey. And Manual moves into St. X territory on their first play of the game.
Tigers have Eli Monks, Ashton Jones, Nick Nall across the front of that line. Micah Carter and Jackson Panarillo are the outside linebackers. Austin Erhan, Holden Siebel start at they give it to Stoner. There's a flag and a whistle before the play gets underway. That'll be a false start against the Crimsons. Tiger defensive backs, Christian Coleman and Jack Fitzgerald are the corners. Cannon Williams gets the start at safety tonight, along with Tyler Boggs. They move it back to the St. X 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. And we've seen the Tigers have a lot of pre-snap penalties this year. Neither team wants to be behind the sticks tonight.
No, 1st and 15 is not where coaches like to be.
Charlie Flowers, wide receiver, comes wide to the right. One receiver to the left. Same formation, same play. Handoff. Running left is Washburn, fighting his way out near the original line of scrimmage. He'll be pushed out of bounds, chased out of bounds by Micah Carter, along with Cannon Williams got over there to help as well. It's a gain of 4 down to the 41 to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, if I can speak, Austin Erhan from his middle linebacker spot shot the gap and missed Washington in the backfield as Washington gets about 4.5 yards on 1st down.
Washburn is in the backfield again, just to the right of Tyree Stoner. 3 receivers to the right as well on 2nd and 11. Quick throw to the right. Caught by Jeremiah Blakey. Bobbled it, and then he's hit and dropped. Flowers tried to give him a block, but Christian Coleman got through that block. Blakey bobbled it, and by the time he regained possession, Christian Coleman was all over him. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
Well, it was just catch the ball by Stoner, throw it as quickly as he can, and by the time the ball got there, you're right, Coleman comes up and makes the play for no gain. And now Manual puts themselves in 3rd and about 10.5 from the Tiger 40.5-yard line.
Tigers switch out some personnel with a pass play anticipated. Henry Murr comes in. They bring in the specialist pass rusher, Tyler Neal. Jason Appel is the 5th defensive back. On 3rd and 11, here's Washburn running left. Gets to the outside, crosses the 40. He is hit and spun down at about the 35-yard line. A play that seems to be run to set up a 4th down, go for it situation. It's a gain of 5. They spotted at the 36. And that'll bring up 4th and 6, and Manuel will quickly go to the line of scrimmage. Tigers need to stay on side here. 3 receivers to the boundary side. That's the short side to the left. Coach Stoner looking things over from the sideline. His son, the freshman quarterback, looking to the sideline.
Are they just going to not run a play, John?
Got a whistle and a timeout called by the Tigers. That's an interesting call, Tony, because it certainly didn't look like a snap was imminent from Manuel.
No, it didn't. And when they tried to get Micah Carter moved, but he didn't come across the line, and then Stoner looked over at his dad, and he just kind of stood there. And that's interesting that the Tigers would call timeout. They must have saw something that was wrong. But
Tigers are missing a couple defensive coaches tonight, including defense coordinator Bart Butler.
Bart Bruner,
or Butler. Butler graduated with us. Bart Bruner, who's home with battling a little COVID problem. But Nick Bosch calling the defense tonight for the Tigers.
And John, what would you do in this situation?
I'd punt it.
I think I'd punt it too.
Because this is going to be a defensive battle all night long, don't you think?
Yeah, I think if Manuel goes for it right here and they do not get it, they'll give Tigers good field position. And I don't know, it's just a philosophy, but I think they were just going to take a penalty and punt the ball.
I do too, yeah. And they might still do that.
Punter's on
the field now. Yep.
So Tigers just wasted a timeout.
Zach Hutchinson comes out to kick it away, senior. Tigers, this is where they think they can get an advantage special team-wise. Tigers keep the main defense out on the field here. It's a snap straight to Washburn, and he is not going to get anywhere near the first down. I like the call from Coach Stoner because I certainly didn't anticipate a fake, but Washburn, the leading running back, was the up man. He took it, got to about the 35, only got a yard, needed 6 for the first down. So Tigers will take over, 8:58 to go here in the first quarter. We're scoreless, Tony, and rolling the dice there.
Well, actually, Washburn bobbled the football when it was snapped to him. He kind of bobbled it, so he didn't even get a good run and start. So St. X was ready for that. I think they probably talked about that in the timeout, but they will come on the field and take over at the 36-yard line.
Trevor Havill at quarterback, the junior, didn't play last week, a little banged up. He's got 5 receivers. Man in motion to the right is Davis Yates. He takes the forward pitch, and he gets out near the 40-yard line before he is chased down over there by Dominic Shoulders, defensive end, senior. But it's a gain of 5 to the 40, make it the 39, gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, Tigers went with an empty backfield, and then Yates goes in motion, and it's just a little pitch forward for a completed pass, and they get 5 yards.
Campusano goes wide to the right, 3 receivers to the left, Wolford Marks and Adam Boone. Yates in the backfield in the pistol formation behind Havill. 2nd down and a short 6. Give it to Yates up the middle. He's got a hole. He's got the first down. Dives forward across the 45-yard line to the 46. That's a gain of 7 and a first down for the Tigers. Co-captain Amari Townsend came up to make the tackle.
Well, Yates is the leading rusher for the Tigers with 244 yards coming in. 4 guys that are over about 150 yards, but Yates gets 2 carries for 11 yards. That's pretty good to start if you can keep that up.
First down for the Tigers as they are at their own 46-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Marlon Harbin, the freshman, to the right. Manuel comes up to the line of scrimmage. Now they back out. Havill wants to throw. He's got time, breaks down late, and he's pushed down. The ball came out, and the Crimsons pick it up and are running the other way for a touchdown. Trevor Havill had it knocked out from behind, and Miles Rhodes, the linebacker, picked it up and went 40 yards for the Manuel touchdown.
Well, we've seen that happen in a couple games to start the season. When Havill goes back, he steps up and then tries to get it out, and the ball's just knocked away, and St. X just kind of stopped, and then Manuel picks it up, runs for a touchdown. So with 7:47, we didn't think we'd see a lot of offense, but a defensive score to start the game for the Manuel Crimsons.
And that's we talked about in the open, Tony. You can't turn the ball over tonight, and loose with the football was Trevor Hamill there. Crimson set up for the extra point here. Flowers will hold it. The kick is up and no good.
Parker Friedman.
From Parker Friedman, the sophomore. 6-0. And do we have a flag? I think we might have a flag on the play here. It's a dead ball, offsides against the Tigers. So it wouldn't have counted anyway. But that gives them another shot. And maybe if you're Donnie Stoner, you go for 2 here. Looks like he's going to keep the kicking team out there. Boy, early shooting yourself in the foot tonight, Tony.
We've seen it in the first couple of games of the year, John, when they've turned the ball over they were interceptions in those games, but a fumble. And I watched the play. I'm watching the video, and it's behind, and he just stepped up and didn't protect the ball and just got kind of hit and knocked away.
So Friedman ready to try the kick again. Charlie Flowers, as I mentioned, is the holder. And now another whistle from the side judge who's coming in. The referee's not getting off to a good start either. They moved it too much. They actually put it on the 1 yard line now.
Well, I think it's the 1.5. I'm not real smart, but half of 3
minus
is, something like that.
Divided by 2. Carry the 6. Snap is good. Hold is good. Friedman's kick is up and good. You give them a second chance. They take advantage. It's 7-0 Manual. 7:47 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. And Marlon Harbin back there taking kickoffs along with Jackson Camposano. Harbin gets it out to the 26-yard line of the Tigers. Little shell-shocked here, Tony, but now offense got to get going again here, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, boy, you just cannot start a game. We talk about penalties starting games and putting yourself in position. The defense gets the stop on 4th down and then get 2 good running plays and then a turnover. And it's not just a turnover, it's a touchdown. So Manual leads 7-0 with 7:40. Tigers had the ball at their own 26-yard line.
And the senior Adam Boone is in at quarterback. He's got the sophomore Michael Curry to his left on 1st and 10. He'll fake the pitch to Curry left, runs right. Fighting through a tackle, gets out to about the 29-yard line. Gain of 3. Christopher Jones, the junior defensive tackle, made the hit. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3.
Got him behind Sam Hayward right there, doing a good job on that right side. But, boy, that's just a terrible way to start a football game.
And Boone will stay in at quarterback. Kyle Krupp, the sophomore, wide to the left, along with Marks and Wolford. Harbin to the right on 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff up the middle. Curry, not much there. Got a yard, dragged down from behind by Dominic's shoulders. He got to the 30, but that'll bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers.
Just a good job by the interior for Manual stacking that play up to get the stop. But you get 5 and 6 yards on the first 2 plays, and you feel you got some confidence. You got Manual moving backwards, and all of a sudden Manual, they're excited. They're up 7-0.
And they should be. 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers. Harbin goes wide to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Wolford is the H-back to the left, and Curry the running back. Boone takes a low snap, rolls left, looks to throw, does throw, and it is, I think, incomplete. Intended for Marks, who dove for it. Diving in front of him was Aiden Blakey, and it'll be a 3-and-out for the Tigers. Would have taken a perfect throw because Blakey played it very well, and St. X will have to kick it away. Zach Marks, the intended receiver, will now go back in punt formation.
Well, unfortunately, if I think it was a ball that would have been up, it might have been picked off because Blakey did have good position, and now Marks will go stand on about his own 13-yard line, 14-yard line.
Howard Gant is deep for the Crimsons, back at their own 34-yard line. Snap is good. Marks boots it out of there. High end-over-end kick toward the Manual sideline. Takes a Tiger bounce and roll inside the 30, down inside the 25. It's on its side and rolling. It may never stop.
Looks like it's on the sidewalk.
17 and the 16-yard line. 54-yard kick and no return. So terrific job that time by Zach Marks and the punt team to pin Manual inside the 20. 6:11 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0. Crimsons lead it on the fumble return for a touchdown.
Now, if you're the Tiger defense, you got to keep the Crimsons down in there. We've talked about flipping the field, and a nice punt by Marks does that.
Yeah, you've got to keep them down there and make their punt team be a factor in this game. Tucker Oberst in at one of the defensive end spots as the Tigers rotate some different guys in there. Washburn in the pistol behind Stoner. Washburn gets the carry up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage and drop. Might have got a yard as he fell forward. Getting up off the bottom of the pile there is Tucker Oberst along with Ashton Jones, the nose tackle.
Eli Monks, I think Monks was the first guy there, so guys up front doing a good job in the interior.
Gain of a yard for Zeke Washburn. He's a junior, Tony. He'll be back next year. 2nd down and 9. 2 receivers to the right. Now Blakey, who had lined up on the left, comes over to the right to make it 3 that way. Tight end to the left. Stoner takes a snap. Wants a quick throw to the right. He's got it out to Flowers, who is hit and dropped immediately by Christian Coleman. About the 19, maybe a 2-yard gain there will bring up 3rd and 7.
Well, they're trying to get it out quick like they did earlier, but the ball's got to get there quicker than that. The ball just floats out there. Tigers are going to do a great job, and Coleman does come up and make the play. So with 5 minutes left here in the first quarter, Crimsons lead the Tigers 7-0. Be 3rd and 7 from the 19-yard line.
If you're an offense coordinator and you watch some St. X tape, the one thing you don't want to do is have Jackson Panarillo and Micah Carter get into your quarterback. So and for that to happen, you got to get it out quickly, and they have in their pass plays tonight. 3rd down and 7. Manuel looks a little confused here in the pistol formation. They just get it off. Handoff to Washburn up the middle. He's going to be brought down well short of the 25-yard line. He got about 4 to the 23, but that will, in all likelihood, be a 3-and-out for the Crimsons as the punt team heads out onto the field.
And you can kind of see what we talked about early on, that both offenses being very conservative. Now, Tigers really haven't had the ball very long, but Manual on 3rd down and 4th down have run the football.
Tigers with 10 guys out on the field right now.
Well, that's okay. It's better than having 12.
Better than having 12, I guess. Zach Marks, who punts, now will receive the punt. Long snap count here. Left footer gets it out of there. It's a low wobbler. Marks comes up and takes it to 45. He's hit and dropped immediately. But that's a good job by Zach Marks, Tony, to not allow that ball to hit and roll. Tigers will start in Manual territory at the 42-yard line. Only an 18-yard kick there, net kick, probably about a 20-yarder with a 2-yard return.
Yeah, it was a short kick, and it was a good play by Marks. Kind of a dangerous play because that ball was coming down very quickly. But Tigers get great field position at the Manual 42-yard line. 3:41 left first quarter. Crimsons lead on a defensive touchdown, 7-0.
And Trevor Havel, who probably got an earful over there during that last Tiger offensive possession, will come back out at quarterback. In the shotgun, he's got a running back to his right. He'll fake it, throw it to the right to Harbin. Looking for a block, got one from Wolford, got inside the 40, down to about the 36-yard line, a gain of 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4. And if you're either one of these teams, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, that's what you want tonight.
Exactly. And Marks did a good job out there blocking, too, with Wolford. So the Tigers shorten it up and get 2nd and 4. That's where you'd like to be a lot of times. We'll see what the Tigers dial up here.
Manual leads at 7-0 as we near the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Pistol formation, Davis Yates is behind Adam Boone, who's back in at quarterback. Here's a handoff to Yates. He is hit and dropped immediately. Adam tried to pull it out, I think, but it was too late. And Dominic Shoulders, third time we've called his name, was in the backfield at the 38-yard line. Loss of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 7.
Well, Manuel showed blitz on the play, and Saunders just came unblocked from the outside. Tigers' offensive line messed up on their assignments, and it's hard for Davis Yates to run the ball when he's getting hit in the backfield.
Yeah, as he's taking the handoff. Trevor Havel back in at quarterback here on the 3rd down play. Tigers maybe, Tony, in 4-down territory here?
I think so, John.
I know
the loss right there hurt.
It's a field position game. Havel's got 2 to the right. And a running formation here, but he does want to throw. Now he rolls left, gets away from the defender, needs to get rid of it. Instead, he'll pull it down and run. He crosses the 35, well short of the 1st down. Did a good job to avoid the rush, and Tiger offensive line's got to do a better job of giving him a little more time here as well. He got 3 yards back. It brings up 4th and 3. What do you do here, Tony Burke?
John, I think you
kick it. I hate to say that. I think you kick it and try to pin them down. They're not going to do that. They're going to go for it here.
Well, the last play when Havel had to roll to his left, all his receivers were to the right, so there was nothing there. But if Boone back getting on.
Boone's in an empty backfield, 3 to the right, 2 to the left.
Quarterback
hard
draw.
Count. They don't jump. Will the Tigers even snap it here? They're not going to snap it. No, they do. Boone going to throw it. Now he's running and throws it into the ground on 4th down. And Manuel will take over. Marlon Harbin was the closest Tiger. Not a good throw. And, yeah, I don't get that one at all. 2:02 to play here in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Manuel.
Well, Boone got hit by 2 guys as he threw the football. And actually Harbin was open at the down marker, but he couldn't get the ball out because Tigers didn't do a good job of protecting him. And if you watched the football game last night, the pro game, you saw a lot of that. It's hard to throw the ball when guys are hitting you.
Well, I just think even if you punt it into the end zone, Tony, you're gaining 15 yards. And there's a possibility, a good chance, the way Zach Marks kicks it, you put them inside the 15-yard line. So this is a game that is built on field position and turnovers. And the Tigers had a chance to flip the field there, and they didn't.
Well, I think that's the confidence that Coach Wallace has in his defense.
3 to the left on 1st and 10. New quarterback in there, and the handoff is to Washburn running left. Coming up to meet him is Cannon Williams, and hanging on is Austin Erhan. It's a gain of 4 out to the 39-yard line. Brandon Wathen, Jr., is in at quarterback. And Crimson's look to the sideline here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
Well, on the stats, Wathen has not thrown a pass this year.
He's listed at 6'1", 180. I think that's being generous. He does want to throw. Does throw. Over the middle. It's caught short of the 1st down. Ball came out, but I think the receiver forward progress was stopped. So I think that's a good call. Vicious tackle that time. I'm not sure who it was, but did knock the ball loose. The gain is out to the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
I believe it was Boggs that made that tackle, John.
Yeah, that was an I'm angry tackle. 3rd down and 2. Washburn in the pistol formation behind Wathen. And he'll get it, and he'll get the 1st down and a lot more. Over the right side, he leaps a tackler, and then he falls down at the 41-yard line of St. X. Gain of 16 for Zeke Washburn.
It's just a handoff to the right side off the right tackle, and he bounced it to the outside, then cut it up and did an acrobatic move over a Tiger, and then the slip and slide at the 41-yard line. So Manual, with 35 seconds left in the first quarter, leads 7-0, or in St. X territory at the Tiger 41.
And as I look at the sideline, Tony, Tyree Stoner is over there, but he doesn't have his helmet on his head or in his hands. 1st and 10, Crimsons. Watson looking to the sideline. He's got Washburn in the backfield with him. 11 seconds left in the quarter, but they do have to run a play, and the Tigers jump off sides.
And, John, Watson wears number 43, so I don't think they were expecting him to play quarterback tonight.
They don't give out those numbers to quarterbacks in the preseason, do they?
No, not normally. I don't even think John Hadel had double John Hadel's number to wear that. That's for the old people.
Y.A. Tittle? What number was Y.A. Tittle? Boy, you talk about old people. That's for the old people. 5-yard penalty moves it to the 36 of St. X. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Crimsons with 7 seconds to go. Clock starts. That'll be the end of the quarter. We'll take a break. 7-0 Manual as we head to the second quarter. You're watching on YouTube on the Tiger Sports Network and listening to St. X Tiger Football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience more than $3 million in tuition assistance. Experience a world-class campus. Experience 29 advanced placement courses. Experience the brotherhood.
Todd and Jim as we start the second quarter. 7-0 Manual. The Crimsons have the ball 1st and 5 after the penalty at the St. X 36-yard line. Brandon Wathen in at quarterback. He hands it to Washburn, and he is tripped up. It looked like Oberst just kind of, as he was going down, reached and got a hand on him, and Erhan finished him off at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, 2nd down, and a short 4 here.
That's a nice play by Tucker Oberst. He was getting blocked, and he just got enough of him to knock him down.
Flowers and both Blakeys go wide to the right on 2nd down. Here's Washburn again, running right this time. Cuts out, back in, 1st down and more down the right sideline, and tripped up as he got down near the 20-yard line. Quick feet, Tony, from Zeke Washburn. And you can see why he averages 108 yards a game on the ground, 108 carries this year for 650 yards and 13 touchdowns in the first 6 games.
And that was just off tackle, nothing fancy. They do a good job of blocking it, and he gets upfield.
1st and 10 at the 22 after a gain of 13.
Goodness.
Wathen in a quarterback, gives it to Washburn. Stutter step, middle of the line, hit and dropped as he got to the 20. A gain of 2, maybe 2.5 there. It's Austin Erhan again. Jack Fitzgerald came in to help out as well. It'll bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 7 here as they give him the 19-yard line.
Manuel doing a nice job of moving the football here. Early second quarter as they lead 7-0.
Just joining us, Tyree Stoner, the backup quarterback, who started the last several games, the freshman. Not in there. We didn't see him get hurt or helped off the field, but they've got a 3rd-string quarterback in there, so they're relying on Zeke Washburn, who spins out of a tackle, has a 1st down at the 10-yard line. Cannon Williams and Nick Nall finally combined to bring him down. They'll spot it at the 11, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Manual as they just cruise down the field. And if you're St. X, Tony, you have to sell out against Zeke Washburn in the run here, don't you?
Well, Jackson Panarillo had a shot at him in the backfield and missed him and got up hitting his helmet. And that you don't say that very often, that Panarillo misses a tackle, but give Washburn the credit.
And here's a whistle. And apparently the pylon had moved from the front corner of the end zone.
She got a camera in it? No.
I guess it's important. Important enough to slow down the game. 1st and 10, just outside the 10. Handoff Washburn, running right, hit at the line of scrimmage and pushed backward about the 9-yard line. We'll give him a 2 on the play. And again, it took a bunch of guys there. Eli Monks up off the bottom of the pile with Micah Carter, Nick Knoll.
And, John, here's the interesting thing what Manuel's doing, and it's working. They're running at Micah Carter. And sometimes when you run at somebody, you neutralize them. And
Carter's talking to the referee right now. I think he thinks he's being held a little bit. There's a penalty flag that we didn't see that'll move it back to the 15-yard line. Apparently, I'm going to guess an illegal formation there. 5-yard penalty. It'll bring up 1st and 15 back outside the 15-yard line.
And that's what it was.
One receiver, that's Blakey to the left, Flowers to the right on 1st down. Here's Washburn. Getting a lot of run here. Not much there. Maybe a half a yard. Erhan, Cannon Williams came up from his safety spot to get in on the tackle as well. And you're going to just see a bunch of guys going after Zeke Washburn here.
Well, I isolated on Micah Carter on that play. They doubled Micah Carter, but Cannon Williams came stepping right up where Carter was to make the tackle.
2nd down and 14, ball on the 15-yard line. Wathen looking to the sideline. He's got Jeremiah Blakey wide to the left, one-on-one coverage. Will the Crimsons throw it here? They will. Wathen looking right, in trouble, steps up into the pocket, and he's dropped at about the 13-yard line. Nice ball fake that got a couple of guys up in the air. Holden Siebel, one of the Tigers, in on the tackle. It's a gain of a couple, brings up 3rd down and long. They can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown, but it's inside the 1-yard line if they do that.
Well, Tigers brought really good pressure, and Wathen just kind of faked it, and then a couple of Tigers came up to make the play. So see what Manuel does here, 3rd and 12 from their own 13-yard line.
They've got 3 receivers to the left. Tight end that way is Cameron Jesse. Washburn is in the pistol formation behind Wathen. They give it to Washburn. He juggles it, gets to the 10, but not much more, if any more. Tackled from behind. Ashton Jones in on the hit. And Nick Knoll asking to come out of the game. Ashton Jones credited on that tackle.
Friedman will come on.
So Friedman, who missed an extra point, but the Tigers were off sides, will now try a 28-yard field goal out of the hold of Flowers. Good snap, good hold, plenty of leg, and it is up and through. It is 10-0 Manual, 7:43 to go. First half. We'll take a break. You're watching St. X football on YouTube, on the Tiger Sports Network, and listening on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience the #1 all-boys high school in Kentucky. Experience 19 interscholastic sports. Experience more than 50 electives. Experience the brotherhood.
There's Tony Burke, Todd Powers, Jim Brinkman, Trevor Kelsey back in the studio. Kickoff taken by Marlon Harbin at the 2, and good coverage by Manuel. He's able to get out to about near the 20, but a little short of it. The Tigers will start there, Tony, after the field goal, down 10-0.
Yeah, they got to get some work on offense. A nice job by Marlon Harbin. Actually, the return was set to the left, and he does what we always say, just get up the field. So Tigers do not start with good field position at their own 18, but the offense has got to find some type of spark.
Trevor Havel back in at quarterback. He's got Michael Curry, the sophomore, in the backfield with him. He's yelling for one of his receivers to get a little closer. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on first down. Tiger O-line's got to do a better job of protecting the quarterback as well. He throws quickly to the left. It's caught at the 18. Boone's out across the 25 and spun out of bounds right at that 25-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first down for the Tiger. Townsend pushed him out of bounds, the co-captain. 2nd down and 3 for St. X.
Yeah, just that quick pass. Again, there's 3 receivers out there. They get it out to the flat to Boone. They do a nice job of blocking. That's been their best play offensively to this point. Tigers will trail 10-0 with 7 minutes left in the first half.
3 receivers to the right, Boone to the left on 2nd down and 3. Manuel shows blitz. They do blitz, run blitz, and to loss, another big loss here as Michael Curry is hitting the backfield all the way back at the 21-yard line. Tiger offensive line just not doing the job yet.
Well, they're going to have to be able to throw the football, it looks like, because everybody's doing the same thing. They're just bringing everybody up to gut, Manuel is, and the Tigers are outnumbered and just getting blown up. So same thing we saw last possession. They move the football, and then they go backwards.
Ball's back of the 21 here after a loss of 4, and the Tigers haven't taken way too long to get this play in from the sidelines as well.
Well, they switched quarterbacks because Havel came out of the game, and now we're trying to figure out what's going on.
Havel's in the game.
Oh, he
here.
is. I thought he came out.
And Tigers, because the hand is up by the back judge, got to waste a timeout here. We'll take one as well with 6:14 to go in the half. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at St. X, 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers at their own 21. Trevor Havel rolls right. Pressure comes, hit as he throws, and it's over the head of Marlon Harbin, who was open out at the 38-yard line. Pressure came from Aiden Blakey, the cornerback, who chased Havel down, and it'll be a 3-and-out. The Tigers have gotten no offense. You saw the numbers, Tony, 11 plays in the first quarter for 22 yards, and it hasn't gotten better in the second quarter.
No, it hasn't, John, and if you can't move the football, you're not going to win games, especially when the other team gets a defensive touchdown. And that's what it is, 10-0 right now.
Zach Marks in to kick it away. Manuel should come out of this with really good field position. High snap, but he pulls it down, boots it out of there. High and short, going to land in Tiger territory. Actually, it's caught by the Manuel punt returner. Howard Gant came up, took a chance between 2 Tigers, and made the catch as he was going to the ground at the 43, but great field position for the Crimsons here, Tony, in St. X territory with 6:03 to go in the half.
Well, like we said before the game, we expect a defensive battle, and the game's being played on the St. X side of the field. And right now the Tigers they need to get a turnover or do something what Manuel did to start the game, because they're just struggling all facets of the game.
1st and 10 Crimsons as Brandon Wathen stays in at quarterback here. Again, didn't see what happened to Tyree Stoner, the starter, but he is on the sideline without his helmet. Zeke Washburn has been the workhorse here for the Crimson offense, the running back. 2 receivers in the pattern. Wathen wants to throw high and deep down the right side. He's got a man down there, but it's well underthrown. Jeremiah Blakey, who caught the first pass of the game for a 40-yard gain, Pretty good coverage there by Christian Coleman, Tony, as he was step for step with Blakey. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just man coverage on the outside to running step for step. The ball was thrown on the inside for Blakey to try to come back, but he had no opportunity right there, so incomplete. Manuel will look at 2nd down from the Tiger 43.
And here comes the freshman, Tyree Stoner, back into the game, Tony. Very interesting here.
Maybe they feel like Wathan's a better thrower and want him in the game for a different look.
Well, he was in that last drive, and they ran it just about every time. Stoner hands it to Washburn up the middle. Big hole, hit from behind. Panarello ripped the ball out, but it fell to the ground, and Stoner fell back on it.
There's a flag down.
It's
I think
37.
It's illegal shift. By
if
the
it
offense.
holds, it's a gain of 6.
Not going to. I already watched the referee give the signal. I'm not that smart.
So what would have been a gain of about 6 yards, actually, will come back now.
The outside receiver who was in motion just kind of stuttered, and I don't know if there was 2 guys moving or that, but the flag went right down, and they're going to walk it back.
So it'll be back from the original line of scrimmage. They'll move it back to the St. X 48-yard line and bring up 2nd down and 15. Unless the Tigers want to turn it down, I don't think you turn it down. It would be 3rd and 4. They do not turn it down. They take the penalty to move it back to the 48. 5:50 to go here, first half. 10-0 Manual with the lead on the strength of a fumble return for a touchdown and a 28-yard field goal.
No offensive touchdowns in this football game.
Stoner back in at quarterback and a whistle. This game has no rhythm to it at all. Washburn in the backfield with Stoner. I'm glad Wathan's back out because Wathan and Washburn was not easy to say in the backfield. But it's not all about me. Stoner takes a snap, gives it to Washburn, running right. It gets slowed down right at the line of scrimmage by Siebel, who just got enough of a hand on him to slow him down and let the rest of the defense come in and help. It's a gain of a yard to the 47. That'll bring up 3rd and 14.
Yeah, it looked like Washburn was going to bounce it to the outside and get big yardage, but Tigers do a great job of stringing it out. And you're right. I mean, Tiger defense has to control the line of scrimmage right now, but the Tigers have had no field position the whole game. Emmanuel looks at 3rd and 14 from their own 47.
Jeremiah Blakey wide to the right. Aiden Blakey along with Flowers split to the left. Pistol formation, handoff to Washburn. Up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, fights forward across the 45 to the 44. Interesting call on 3rd and 14. It's a gain of 3. And here comes the punting unit.
Well, here's what it tells me, John.
Crimsons.
It's 10-0. St. X offense has done nothing. Let's play it conservative, punt the ball away, and try to go into halftime 10-0. The Tigers have not moved the football.
Zach Hutchison will kick it away as we are down at the 4.5-minute mark here of the first half. Zach marks deep for the Tigers. Long snap count here. Good snap. Long time to get it out of there, but the Tigers didn't have any pressure on them. High end over end, bounces out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So a 23-yard kick. Looked like he was intentionally kicking it toward the sideline. And what Manuel's going to do, as you mentioned, Tony, 10-0 lead. Let's rely on our defense.
And they have the whole game so far here in the first half. Tigers did get the ball across midfield on the first possession before the turnover for the touchdown by the Crimsons. Now, if you're the Tigers, do you want to gamble very much right here? Your offense has been kind of stagnant, and you don't want to give Manuel the ball back in good field position. So we'll see what the Tigers do here.
Hello to Ben Devine, class of 08, listening in Atlantic City, New Jersey, allegedly at the craps table. Havel will hand it off this time. Running left is Davis Yates. Not much there. Fights his way out to the 24. And that is a whole lot of Davis Yates' second effort to get 3 yards. It looked like he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Everything looks like it's in slow motion on the St. X offense. It just is not moving. They're not doing a good job up front. Plays are taking long. Just, boy, I mean, right now this does not look like the top team in the state.
Actually, the play started at the 22, so it's only a gain of 2. Second down at 8. Empty backfield. 5 receivers in the pattern for Havel. 4-man rush for Manuel. One over the middle, caught at the 30, fighting his way, but short of the first down. That is Davis Yates, who was in the slot that time. Got it out to the 31-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Tigers. Remember, St. X has burned 2 timeouts. They've only got 1 left here as we near the 3-minute mark in the second quarter.
Actually like that play. A conservative, nice pass. Now Tigers need to get a first down.
Havel's got Yates to his left. He'll fake it to Davis, throw it to the left. Nice job by Boone to pick it off the turf. Makes a couple of men miss. Gets out across the 40 as his helmet comes off. Pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Actually, it was Nolan Wolford. I take it back. But Nolan Wolford with a terrific job to pick it off. No, it was Boone. He's coming off with his helmet in his hand. It was Adam Boone. Picked it off the bottom of the turf there. Got out to the 42-yard line for a first down. Gain of 11.
Ball was not well thrown. You're right. It was a really good catch. That could have been an incomplete pass if Boone doesn't make a great play.
I guess he didn't get out of bounds because the clock starts. Here's Havel, empty backfield again, over the middle again. They found something. This time I think it was Curry. It is Michael Curry at the 49-yard line of Manuel. Gain of 9, but the Tigers, again, they got to up the tempo a little bit here. Same formation, Tony, same play, just a little down and in right over the middle. Second down and 1. Take a shot here. Havel takes a snap, throws quickly to the right to Harbin. Gets a block. He's across the 40, hit and pushed out of bounds. Actually didn't get out of bounds, but he has the first down at the 37-yard line.
Just quick pass, quick pass, quick pass, and the freshman gets up the field. So with 2 minutes left here in the first half, Tigers are in Manual territory for only the second time tonight at the Manual 37.
Gain of 12 on that catch and run from Marlon Harbin. Clock starts as they move the chains. Havel takes a snap, hands it to Curry, running up the middle. He cuts outside, has some room down near the 30-yard line. Push down there. It's a gain of 7. Clock will run, 1:42 to play in the half.
Got to show some urgency here.
136, 135. Tigers at the line of scrimmage. Second down and 3. Hamill takes a snap, quick throw to the left again. This time it's Camposano. He will run to the left sideline, get to the marker, get out of bounds at the 26. Needed 4. Needed 3. He got 4. It's a first down. Clock stops. 1:21 to go in the half.
Do you have the hitch and go right here, John? If you have it in the playbook, I go with it. You know, Manuel's walking up. If you show that and run somebody down the sideline, they might be wide open. It'd be a gamble, but I would be willing to take the gamble with 1:21 left in the game, first half.
Huge drive here, Tony, because the Tigers do get the ball to start the second half. Yates back in there at running back. He'll get the call up the middle, nowhere to go. Hit right at the line of scrimmage.
You got to use your timeout.
Big number 98, Caden Hubbard. 5'11", 290.
They're not going to use their timeout.
I don't think you use it yet.
It's a lot of time coming off the clock.
Loss of a couple on the play back to the 28-yard line. Under a minute to play. Empty backfield. Trevor takes a snap. Looking over the middle. It's caught. Escaping a tackle is Wolford down inside the 20. Now you might have to use it. He didn't get the first down. He got to the 18-yard line.
40 seconds, clock running.
Third down and about 3 for the Tigers here. Hamill takes a snap. Looks, has time, now rolls left. Still looking. Throws late. It is caught for the first down at the 14-yard line. Coming back was Adam Boone to the ball. You got 23 seconds. You got to get up and spike it.
Got to line up.
One timeout to go here in the first half, trailing 10-0. Oh, they snapped it past him. But there was a whistle beforehand and a timeout called by Manuel, I believe.
That's
what a break. 20 seconds to go in a half. We'll take a 30-second timeout here, Trevor. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience more than 3 million in tuition assistance. Experience a world-class campus. Experience 29 advanced placement courses. Experience the brotherhood.
So before the snap went past Trevor Havel in the backfield, there was a whistle and a timeout called by Manual on defense. It's 10-0 Manual here with 20 seconds to go in the first half. St. X has it 1st and 10 at the Crimson 14-yard line. First time into the green zone. First time anywhere close to the green zone for the Tigers here tonight. You got to come out away from this drive at the end of the half with some points.
Yeah, man coverage out here on the outside.
Havel rolls that way, looks, has all day, still looking. Now he rolls to the left, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 12. That ate up 8 seconds. Give him a gain of a couple here. Now, you do have a timeout left, so you can actually run a couple of plays here, but you don't have time to run around the backfield.
Well, actually, that was a good job by Trevor Havel that time. He had plenty of time. He could not find a receiver. Then it broke down, so he ran to the left and got out of bounds and did not force the ball in there.
Give him a gain of 1 officially on the play to the 13. It's 2nd and 9 with 12 seconds to go. Yates in the backfield. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Trevor wants to throw. Does throw. Short of the end zone, but into the end zone goes Zach Marks for the touchdown. St. X Tigers on the money throw from Trevor Havel. And Zach Marks basically had to run over one guy at the 1-yard line, and he did. What a big play in this game that is.
Well, what Manuel did is Manuel went away from blitzing. They went into coverage, and they gave Havel time to throw the football. And Crimson tried to cut in front and intercept the pass. He missed. And then the touchdown is Logan Zoller comes on to attempt the extra point.
Cross will snap it. Camposano will hold it. Big extra point here. It is up. It is through. It is 13. Or excuse me. Well, the scoreboard's got the Tigers winning, but it's 10-7 in favor of Manuel. We'll keep it right here with 7 seconds to go in the half. And, Tony, the offense found a little something there. The quick throws to the side and the 10-yard down the middle, just turn and look. They used that 4 or 5 times on that drive and were able to chunk up some yardage.
Well, I really think Manuel went conservative defensively. It's like at the end of the game when you go prevent. They were putting pressure on Havel every play, and he was getting time to throw. The quick passes got out quickly and got them to receivers, and they kept moving the ball 10 yards or so a play. And then you get down by the goal line, and you get time, and you get a receiver cut, and Marks is the guy that you depend on a lot of times to make those catches in traffic, and Havel threw a dart right to him. So Manuel, who had controlled this whole first half, now with 7 seconds, only lead by 3 points.
That you're absolutely right when you say it. That couldn't have been said better. They controlled this entire first half. Marks will kick it away, a little line drive. It bounces at the 25, rolls down to one of the Blakeys who picks it up at the 15, gets out across the 25, and the clock runs out, and that'll be the end of the first half. Well, on a night when the Tigers certainly didn't have their A game offensively, Tony, they're in this game. It's 10-7 Manual. The Crimson's got the 40-yard fumble return early in the game. They've had it hold up here. But who feels better here going in at halftime?
Well, I think the Tigers do, because when you don't do anything for a whole half and then the last 2 minutes or so of the first half, you go down the field and you get a touchdown, you got to feel good about yourself. Now, you're disappointed in the way you've played, and the coaches aren't going to be happy, but Manuel had all the momentum. If they get a stop right here, they go into halftime 10-0, feeling like Tigers can't do anything offensively, and they get the touchdown from Havel to Marks. So,
what an unbelievable crowd here tonight, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that. A gorgeous
night. They are filled up on both sides. People are in the end zone down there on the burn in both ends. The Rage Cage has brought it tonight. Manual student section, a neon night for them. They brought it as well, but kind of what we expected, a whole lot of defense. Couple of big plays here and there, but a very impressive drive by the Tigers there at the end of the half. We'll take a break, come back. The halftime report is on the way from the Kroger broadcast booth. You're listening to St. X High School football on the Big X Sports Radio. The boss came in. I messed up.
Welcome in off Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Matthew Lynn, here at the broadcast studio in the Callahan Media Center. We're going to be talking about our halftime show here as the Tigers trailing Manual 10-7 after a late touchdown scored by Trevor Havel on a throw to Zach Martz in the end zone. As we're going to want to get to our senior spotlight featuring Tyler Boggs here, interview conducted by Tommy Scanlon.
What's up, Tigers? Tommy Scanlon back. Another senior interview. Safety, Tyler Boggs, Holy Trinity Eagle. Tyler, why did you choose St. X?
When I shadowed, I saw that the teachers were good help and that they made the priority of helping students first.
And how has the teachers helped you so far? How has your whole experience been at St. X so far?
Well, I thought the best part about the teachers is getting to see them before and after school. I had Mr. Spears last year. I got to see him many times before and after school, and it helped me get a good grade in his class.
All teachers are like that here. Varsity football player is a starter. Outside of St. X sports, what are you most excited for this year as a senior?
For sure, basketball intramurals. Going to take down your team. You're going to bring some super team in. I don't think it's going to happen.
Coach of the year last year. Whatever.
Then he's leaving us now.
Last year we won state, but we lost a lot of seniors, and I feel like they were pretty key components. What are the keys this year for the Tigers to take state again?
I think it's kind of just keeping that swagger. We had that swagger last year that we were that team. I think we are this team. We are that team this year. Keep that up. Keep the confidence going, like Wesley said. Just keep it going.
So, like I said, seniors left last year. I feel like they had the captain role. It's kind of known seniors get the captain roles. This year, who are the new captains and how did they get those roles?
I think many people said Boone on offense. Wesley Stevenson is a guy that he might not he's a good player, but he's a big leader on this team. Defense, guys like Siebel, Erhan, Teddy, Big Mike, Jackson, we're all good leaders on this defense. We got many leaders on the defense too.
Yeah, all good guys. So, you've played football your whole life. What is your favorite part about St. X football? What makes it so special to you?
I think it's the rage cage. I love going out to our home games, seeing the big student section, the first game of the year, and especially against maybe Central, a team that we knew wasn't going to be that good. But we knew we still had a bigger rage cage second game than the first game, which I think was a big part of how we play.
I feel like I can take a little credit in that.
Oh yeah, leader of the rage cage.
All right, now we're getting a little hot seat questions for you. What's your favorite class throughout your entire experience of St. X?
Probably Mr. Spears, Algebra 2.
You said he helped you a lot. So
Yeah.
It's probably big.
Yeah.
Well, who's your favorite teacher in St. X?
Coach Lyons for sure. Shout out Coach Lyons.
Coach Lyons, all right. What's your go-to entree in the cafeteria?
Buff chick hasn't really been it this year. I tried at the beginning of the year. I like the beef rice bowl now. That's my go-to.
What about your go-to side?
Probably the side of is that the chicken and entree?
I think it's an entree.
Entree.
Tenders, yeah.
Then probably just the fries. I like the fries. I like the new fries.
For football, what's your favorite uniform combo if we had to wear it every game?
I like white on white. I think white on
white's
or
good.
black on white. We've never done that, but I think we should do that this year.
Maybe look cool. How would you describe St. X football in one word?
Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah.
All right, Tigers, that's senior spotlight for you. Tyler, you have anything else to say to the camera?
Keep coming to the rage cage.
Keep coming out. All right, Tyler and Tommy signing off. See you, boys.
Great work, Tommy, on that senior spotlight. As we're going to go back to 2 weeks ago as the Tigers played Trinity Shamrocks, as we're going to get to some highlights from that game as the Tigers came away with the win.
Back at Cardinal Stadium, it is the rivalry game, St. X and Trinity. Not just a great night for football, great night for tailgate. Both student sections are loud and early and rowdy here.
You doubted me, nothing to talk about. Good luck, cause I'm outside, tough luck. No friend of mine, no runners up, pick it up. Get it going, can you get up out the way in the dust? big bad wolf and I'm outside, so you better get away from the door. 15 years getting busy to the E&D, but you already know.
Gives it to Sasser, and he's hammered by Panarillo. Came unblocked from the opposite side of Jackson Panarillo doing Jackson Panarillo things.
I'm coming after your crew, you see my soul on the loose. Heavyweight.
Quick throw, pitch into the air, and intercepted. Panarillo tipped it into the air, and Siebel picked it off. Holden Siebel gets it back to the 27-yard line.
Cause I got the juice. Okay.
Roll to the right, he wants to throw, he does so. Got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Jackson Camposano. Yep, they came after him. John Boone to Camposano, wide open for the touchdown.
Give me nothing to talk about. Something to talk about.
Good snap, good hold, and it's blocked.
Something to talk about. I got a planet to run around. You doubted me, nothing to talk about. Okay, I'm back in my mode. You know how I get when I go, wherever I go.
Third and 7. Trevor takes the snap. Straight drop. Wants to go deep down the right side. He's got a man open. It's Marks. He's got it at the 18, and he'll walk in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. There are no flags. Trevor Havel put that one right on the money. Tigers with a 3-man rush. They drop out. Here comes Panarillo and a sack in the backfield. Ashton Jones overpowered his offensive lineman.
That was a great win for the Tigers at Cardinal Stadium a couple weeks ago, as the Tigers are going to really need to get some of that second half luck going, as they got the momentum going into half, as they're going to get the ball back, as Trevor Havel and Zach Marks able to get some offense rolling there at the end with a touchdown throw, as the Tigers want to make sure that offensive line is going to be able to hold up for the Tigers, as that was a big issue in the first half, allowing a lot of defenders to come right through that O-line and made a lot of problems for the Tigers, as the Manual Crimson are going to make sure they keep that offense rolling. They got some great momentum off that defensive turnover, which turned into a scoop and score for the Crimson Rams, as they need to get their offense rolling, only putting 3 points on the board offensively, as they've gone through 3 quarterbacks so far in only one half, as their running back, Zeke Blackwash, has been one of the best players in this game so far for the Crimson, averaging 100 yards per game through 6 games with 13 touchdowns. What an impressive feat for a young running back, as the Tigers are going to make sure that they get ready here for the second half, as well as the Manual Crimson. As you've been watching the Tiger Sports Network halftime show, I'm your host, Matthew Lynn, signing off, and we'll see you next game. We're going to toss it back to John Spears and Tony Burke back on Big X Radio.
Stadium. John Spears, Tony Burke, Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers, Trevor Kelsey back at the studio. It is 10-7 Manual over St. X here at halftime. The numbers are not great offensively for either team. Manual, Tony, had the big 40-yard play on the first play of the game. St. X, a methodical drive at the end of the half. But the key defensively here, don't allow the big play. And if you're St. X offensively, you had that one big turnover that led to the fumble return for the touchdown. It could end up being the killer here.
It could be, John. And it looked very grim for the Tigers as they were not moving the football at all. And like we said, Manuel scored a defensive touchdown to start the game. So you have to feel better about yourself if you're the St. X Tigers. You feel like now, hey, we can run some offense. And me and the Todd father were talking off to the side. When Trevor Havel has made his mistakes in games, they've been early. They lose a little bit of confidence in him. They've scored. He's thrown an interception for a touchdown. He's fumbled it. But for the Tigers to move the football, we've seen it tonight. They have to be able to throw it some. It's nothing against Adam Boone, but Boone has not been effective throwing the ball. And for the Tigers to move the football against good teams, you got to be able to throw it because they're going to load the box and you're not going to be able to run. They're going to outnumber you.
And it's difficult against any defense, but against really good defense, it is tough to play the game of interchanging quarterbacks because they know when Adam Boone's in the game, it's a lot of read option. He's going to hand it or keep it, not going to throw it a lot. And they know when Trevor Havel's in the game, the Tigers want to throw the football more. So that's a tough thing to do you can do it against a bad defense. You can't do it much against a good defense.
Yeah, a lot of people knew back when I was in the 8th grade when we rotated quarterbacks that I was going to throw the ball. So if you're going to do that at this level, you can't do that. So for the Tigers to be effective, we know the Tiger defense is good. They've only given up 3 points in this game, but the offense has to help them. In field possession, Manuel had almost the whole first half. And the Tigers got to flip that here in the second half.
Got a running clock already over at Mail. The Bulldogs lead Southern 36-0 in a district game. And I guess early score from Trinity you got, right?
Yeah, about 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes last I saw here on Twitter. Ballard goes ahead 7-0 on
first half.
And
7 minutes the first half.
Yes, you're correct. And I had a 14-0. Butler is losing to PRP out of PRP. Is one I had there.
Tigers will travel to Butler next week in another district game to take on the Bears. That'll be the final regular season road game of the year. The Tigers will come home, finish the district slate at home against PRP 2 weeks from tonight, and then the Bowling Green Purples come up I-65 to take on the Tigers in the home finale, at least the regular season home finale here at St. X. Let's take another 2-minute break here. We'll come back. Second half action is on the way. 10-7, Manual has the lead. You're watching St. X High School football on Tiger Sports Network on YouTube, and you're listening to St. X Tiger football on Big X Sports Radio. Thank you.
Man, when that door opens, that wind blows through here.
Did anybody get a hold of me?
Experience St. X. Experience the #1 all-boys high school in Kentucky. Experience 19 interscholastic sports. Experience more than 50 electives. Experience the brotherhood.
as we are just about ready to get the second half underway. Well, it was crucial for the Tigers to score late in the first half. They did it with 7 seconds to go to cut the Manual lead to 10-7. How critical is the opening drive of the second half for this St. X offense?
Well, I think it's always huge, and it's even more huge tonight. We talked about the field position, so the field position is huge, and you want to keep the ball in Manual territory, and Manual did a great job of that in the first half. So we'll see what happens here in the second half.
Marlon Harbin and Jackson Camposano go deep for the Tigers. Davis Yates and you said it earlier, Tucker Oberst are the next two up in line. That is surprising. You got running back, 2 wide receivers, and a defensive end back to return the kickoff of the Manual Crimson. It is Parker Friedman, who is the difference in this game right now with his 28-yard field goal midway through the second quarter that gave Manual a 10-0 lead. As we mentioned, it's now 10-7. Tigers will get the ball and head toward the school building. High kickoff, going to be taken by Harbin at the 10. Right up the middle, 15, cuts right at the 20, trying to get outside, and he will not get outside contained. Tackled out of bounds at about the 22-yard line, and the Tigers will start 1st and 10 there with Trevor Havel at quarterback. And it looked like Tigers found something offensively on that last drive.
They did, just getting the football out quick, looking for the voids in the defense and getting it out and moving the football, and that's when they let you throw the ball quick. You get down the field, and that was a very good formula for the Tigers, but we'll see what they do here to start the second half.
Boone and Zach Marks go wide to the left, Harbin to the right on 1st and 10. Davis Yates in the backfield. Nolan Wolford lined up a tight end to the left. Trevor Havel sends Wolford in motion back to the line of scrimmage. He gets on that offensive line. Shaky snap there, but Havel handled it, handed it off to Davis Yates, and the O-line pushing and giving him some room. He gets about 4 out to the 26-yard line.
And, John, it seems like each week we've felt like the coaching staff maybe had to challenge the offensive line at halftime. They did a really nice job in the second half against Rowell, and hopefully if you're a Tiger fan, they'll get it going here in the second half.
2 to the right, 3 to the left here, empty backfield. As Yates moves from running back to the slot, and he moved, and that's a flag, and Davis Yates going to be called for the false start. So 2nd and 6 now becomes 2nd and 11. Pre-snap penalties have really hurt this team all year long.
Just got in a hurry right there, and they got what they wanted. One of the linebackers was blitzing. The other one was dropping. If they got it out quickly, they could have got some blocking, but that penalty just nullifies that first down play. Now you're looking at 2nd and 11 from the 21.
Tigers with the M&M Cartage drive at the end of that first half, looking for another M&M Cartage drive here. 2nd and 11, 4 receivers, make it 5 in the pattern. Empty backfield. Left, in trouble, throws late and over the head and out of bounds of his intended receiver, Michael Curry. That's a good job of getting rid of it and avoiding the sack by Havel, but it'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
Pressure came from the left side of the Manual defense. They showed blitz up the middle. One of the linebackers, he dropped out, and then the pressure came. And actually, Trevor Havel did a nice job of just getting rid of the football. So now, just what the Tigers didn't want to do, put themselves in 3rd and long to start their first possession of the second half.
And if you're the Crimsons, do you bring pressure here, Tony, or do you drop back on 3rd and long?
I'd bring pressure because that's been effective.
3-man front for Manual. They only bring 3. Rolling right, Havel throws to the marker, caught, 1st down Tigers. Marlon Harbin, the freshman, and a late flag comes out as he went out of bounds. He was hit out of bounds. They're going to say that Jeremiah Blakey hit him too far out of bounds. It's going to cost him 15.
Well, they did not bring pressure, and you called it just right, John. They had a 3-man down lineman coming in, and 1 guy came, so they only rushed 4. They gave Havel time to throw the ball. And when he's had time, he's been effective. So Tigers get the nice play for 1st down, and then they'll add 15 onto it.
Yeah, he had the 1st down, and Harbin intentionally took himself out of bounds after he got to the marker. And I guess, I really didn't see it, but they're going to call a late hit. That'll move it out to the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 Tigers.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but the Manual coaching staff did not complain.
Curry in the backfield, 3 receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Harbin to the right. Havel checking with the coaching staff here. Takes the snap. Wants to throw. Now he pulls it down, runs to the right, hit from behind, spun down for a sack. Back at the 46-yard line. It's a loss of 2. And that man, Dominic Shoulders, in on another tackle. And that time, Tyler held it just a little too long. And once he tried to get out of the pocket, he didn't have time.
Yeah, Manuel brought good pressure up the middle, and Havel had to look down the field, and it just collapsed. And so Tigers look at 2nd and 12 from their own 46 after getting the big play.
I like a screen here. Rolling left is Havel. He's got time. He throws. He's got a man. It's Marks, short of the first down. Pushed out of bounds on the St. X sideline at about the 45-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Nice 9-yard gain on the throw and catch.
Well, they make it manageable here, so we'll see what the Tigers do.
Miles Rhodes able to push him out of bounds. 3rd down and 3. Havel takes a snap. Quick throw to the right. Going to have to make a move. Is Camposano? He does. He's got the first down. Well, they had a shot at him at the 45, but he split defenders. Got a little help from Nolan Wolford and Zach Marks and got to the 39-yard line for a first down Tigers.
Even before the play, I was thinking they're going to throw that quick pass out there. And if I'm Manuel, you got to come up and press that a little bit and make the Tigers try to go down the field because that ball took a while to get there. Then he caught it, and then he had a lane to run, and he had to make one guy miss, and Camposano does, and he gets the first down to the 39-yard line.
Gain of 6 for Jackson Camposano. I think that's his first catch of the night. Krupp and Harbin in at wide receiver. Atkins and Wolford double tight ends. Boone in at quarterback. He'll keep it this time and get down to the 35-yard line. Just lowered his shoulder, got behind the left side of that offensive line. It's a gain of 4.
A nice job, but as soon as Boone went to quarterback, Manuel brought 9 guys into the box. They were only guarding the guys on the outside. There was 8 guys within the tackles, and they were looking for the run, but a good job by the Tigers to get some good yardage.
9:37 left here in the third quarter. Tigers have had the ball the entire quarter. Handoff up the middle. I think it's Yates. It is Davis Yates. He's hit and dropped at about the 33-yard line. Give him a couple there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers. Shoulders again in on the tackle for Manuel. Somebody needs to find number 54.
And, John, I think you hit something a minute ago, a screenplay, but formation's not really set up for it. Manuel comes up on the receivers.
Empty backfield. Manuel showing blitz here. They do come. Quick throw to the left to Boone. He's going to lower his shoulder and get the first down inside the 30. Well, John Candy said it best, Tony.
Something works for me.
I stick with it.
And Guy Dorsey was screaming at one of his defensive backs, trying to push him up to the line of scrimmage. And Manuel actually had 3 defensive backs walking up, but they did not get up quick enough to get to Adam Boone.
Tigers needed 4. Boone got 7. It's 1st and 10 down at the 27-yard line. Low snap, gets past Havel. He does the right thing and dives on it back at the 41-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 14. I'm not sure if it was a bad snap or
it was a bad snap.
if Trevor wasn't ready for it, but you saw it. Bad snap. Loss of 14 on the play.
Yeah, the ball unfortunately just stayed on the ground the whole way. And Havel almost overshot the ball when he fell on it. So now Tigers put themselves in 2nd and 24 from their own 41.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Havel takes the snap, 4-man rush, rolls right, in trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, he got away from it. Now he's running to the left, gets a blocker out in front of him. He's across the 40, the 35, and a late flag, a late hit out of bounds on the St. X sideline. And that should be enough to give the Tigers a first down. What a terrific athletic play that time from Trevor Havel. Tony, I thought he was caught at the 50.
Well, I tell you what, when he got around the corner, a great athletic play by Carter Gilliam. Got out in front of him and leveled a defensive back to get him up the field, and then the flag comes in. And right now, flags are killing the Crimsons. And we'll see, that should be right at a first down.
They move at 15. It should be enough for the first down, I would think.
It's going to be close.
Yep. It's to the 16-yard line, and that's a first down. They needed the 17 for a first down. Tigers in the green zone for the second time tonight.
And if you're Manuel and Coach Stoner, you got to
oh, my gosh.
We had them right where we wanted and let them out.
2 late hits on this drive. Havel takes a snap, gives it to Curry. Running right, cuts inside, crosses the 15, not much more. Got down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of a couple.
Well, he goes off the right side, and I don't know. I had the binoculars on it. You probably did too. Thought he could have bounced it to the outside, and he decided to put his head down and go, and only got a couple yards on the play.
3 receivers to the right. Curry in the backfield. Tight end left is Wolford. Havel in the shotgun. Now the Tigers look to the sideline. Clock moving. 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. Havel wants to throw over the middle, and it's incomplete, I believe. Well, that time it looked like he thought Boone was going to keep going, and Adams stopped and then had to dive for it. It's incomplete. It's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, he might have kind of just short-armed it, too. He looked out there, and, it would have been about a 5-yard gain, I guess, to Boone. So now the Tigers put themselves, it's 3rd and 8 from the 14-yard line. Manuel leads this game 10-7, 7:20 left third quarter.
You're in makeable field goal range here, Tony. So the one thing, if you're Trevor Havel, you don't take a sack here.
Corner out, John.
2 to the right, 2 to the left on 3rd and 8. Trevor takes a snap, has time, over the middle. He's got a man. It's caught at the 3. The ball is loose, falling on it in the end zone.
I think they're going to call Marks down at the
I'm fine with that.
line.
It did look like one of the Tigers got on the ball in the end zone. But, yeah, they are going to say Marks was down, but he's got plenty for the first down.
And just like I said, they ran the slant that I wanted, and they hit Marks. But he did get hit at the 2-yard line, and the ball came out. And fortunately for the Tigers, they have the ball ready to go.
I wish they'd have called it a fumble because Nate Rumrill fell on it. Boone in a quarterback, he's hit, and the ball is out. Manuel says one player says they have it, and they do. They've got it in the end zone. They're looking in a pile, and nobody's got the ball in the pile. The ball's already out of there.
I think the ball's at the 1-yard line, John. The referee is marking it at about the 2-yard line, but Manuel does have the football.
Wow. Adam Boone trying to get some extra yardage there, and the ball comes out. What a big mistake. Turnovers tonight, Tony. 2 for the Tigers, and they've been killers.
Well, now you got to forget about that. The defense has got to keep Manuel down in here and make the field position back to them. They can't let Manuel out of here with 7 minutes left in this game. But you're right. It was just kind of a counter where Boone looked to his right, cut back to his left, and when he spun, he got hit, and the ball came out.
Now, Kevin Wallace is going to argue, look, if nobody under that pile had the ball and you didn't know who had the ball, that should be our ball.
Well, the ball.
He's got a point.
He's got a point, but Manuel had the football. I could see that.
I agree
that Manuel player with the football.
1st and 10, Manuel. We'll see who the quarterback is here. It is Stoner, the freshman. Washburn, Zeke Washburn. The workhorse is in the backfield. He's about 5 yards deep in the end zone.
You can't let Washburn get to the outside.
1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line. First possession of the half for Manuel. Here's Stoner. There's a Washburn up the middle. He crosses the 5 out near the 7. They'll mark him, I think, at the 6-yard line. A couple of Tigers combine on the tackle. Erhan, first man there. Positive gain if you're dominant. If you're Donnie Stoner, you got to like that. It's a gain of 5.
Yeah, 5 straight up the gut. But if you're a Tiger fan, it is imperative that they keep the Crimsons down here by their goal line.
Stoner takes a snap, gives it to Washburn again. He makes a move, has a first down, and hauled down right up the middle there, Tony. 2 runs right up the middle. Panarillo in on the tackle, but it's a gain out to the 15, a gain of 8, and a first down for Manuel.
Give Manuel's offensive line a lot of credit, just helmet on helmet and getting Washburn out of that end zone.
Well, he's
down
quick.
There.
Quick and powerful.
And he looked like he was going to get through there that time, even get more.
1st and 10 at the 15. One receiver to the right.
Who's going to get the ball?
Blakey to the left. Pistol formation. Guess who? Washburn running right. He's got some room around the right side, pushed out of bounds on the St. X sideline, right near the 20-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 4 or 5. And if you're Donnie Stoner, this is just what the doctor ordered. Give it to your stud and have him get some yardage. They mark it at the 20. It's 2nd and 5.
Boy, Cannon Williams just came up too quick from his safety spot. If he goes to the outside, he'll get Washburn, but comes inside and Washburn gets that bounce, and he does that very well and gets it out for 5 more yards.
Clock stops as he went out of bounds. 6:06 to go here in the third quarter. Stoner will send Jeremiah Blakey wide to the left. Jesse is the tight end to the right on 2nd and 5. Nothing fancy here. Here's Washburn running left. He cuts back to the right. He's going to be hit and be dropped short of the first down at about the 23. Slow developing play. Micah Carter up off the bottom of the pile, but it'll be 3rd and 2. Well, Make it 3rd and 1. They give him the 24 here.
Carter did a good job of staying at home when the cutback came, but gave one of the Manual players a little shove, and some of his players were talking to him. But last thing you can do right here is get a penalty just because you get upset. Now, Tigers.
Now, don't you tell your linebackers here, just go tackle 22.
Yeah, that's what everybody in the place knows 22 is going to get the ball.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards here for the first.
Nope.
Keeper by Stoner. He's got the first down. Not much more, but a good time to hang on to it because everybody went with Washburn. Cannon Williams makes the tackle, but it's a gain of 4. 3 up to the 27-yard line on a first down for Manual. 5:22 left here in the 3rd quarter. Crimsons lead it 10-7.
And that hurts right there. We just talked about trying to keep them down in that area where you can keep the field position, but now with about 5 minutes left in the 3rd, Manual leads 10-7. Tigers fumbled down at the 2-yard line, and Manual has moved the ball out to the to their own 26-yard line.
First down at 10. Stoner, the quarterback, and Washburn, really the only 2 names we've needed to know here in this 3rd quarter. Stoner dropped the ball, picks it up. Now he wants to run. He's going to run to the right and fall on his own. The turf monster got him. Cannon Williams was closing in on him, but he stumbled and fell back at the 24-yard line. So loss of 3, bring up 2nd and long.
I think he saw Cannon Williams coming and just decided it was time to go down. He had
business decision?
Business decision is a good way to put that. But a bad snap. Manual does a pretty good job of Stoner picking the ball up, even though he lost 3 yards, and avoiding catastrophe right there.
My favorite play here, Tony, quarterback goes all the way from the right hash mark to the left sideline to get the play and come back in.
After he's just run the ball a couple of times?
Yeah. Washburn in the pistol behind Stoner. 1 receiver each way, extra tight end in there. And a whistle, and I think the Crimsons moved here. Nope, it looks like Kevin Wallace is unhappy. Nope, it's false start against Manual. I don't know why Kevin Wallace is unhappy.
He might just be unhappy, John.
He's just
it
generally
might not
unhappy.
Have been the play. I think he's probably just generally unhappy right now with his team. And just mistakes. If the Tigers haven't made the mistakes, Manual has no offensive touchdowns. If you just joined us, they picked up a fumble at the 3rd play of the game and ran 40 yards for a touchdown. They kicked a field goal. Tigers didn't have much offense. They scored at the end of the first half, and the Tigers have an opportunity to go down and score. They fumble on the 2-yard line.
False start moves it back to the 19. Brings up 2nd and 18 for the Crimsons.
You throw it now?
I think we're going to see Washburn for at least one more play here. We do. He's running right. He's hit and dropped at the 20. Erhan there. Micah Carter there as well. Gain of 1 yard, and it'll bring up 3rd and 17 for the Crimsons.
Erhan came firing from his middle linebacker spot and came up and made that play. But now if you're the Tigers, keep them in front, get a stop here. And what we've seen out of the Crimsons, Coach Stoner's been willing on these type of plays to run the ball.
Yeah. Tigers bring in a 5th defensive back, Jason Appel. Henry Murr will come in. He'll be in coverage normally as well. And Tyler Neal, pass rushing specialist, is in as well for the Tigers.
Well, Tiger safeties have to stay deep.
1 receiver each way. Again, 2 tight ends in the game. Washburn in the backfield. Jesse in motion. They give it to Washburn up the gut. He's going to get some positive yardage, but nowhere near the first down. Jason Appel brings him down at the 27. It's a gain of 7. But when you need 17, 7's not enough. And here comes the punt team for the Crimsons with 2:43 to go in the 3rd quarter.
But I think Coach Stoner would be happy where they got out of that end zone because you didn't want the Tigers to pin you down. And now punting has not been one of the strengths of the Crimsons tonight.
Zach Hutchinson comes in. Zach Marks stands at his own 45, which I think is too deep.
I was going to say the same thing, John.
Remember, he came up and made a play on a punt earlier. Now they back him up a little bit, which blows my mind.
Blows mine, too.
Tigers with 8 at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to back out of this. Well, they come right up the middle. Off the side of his foot, Marks comes up and takes it at the 50. Looking to run left, and he runs into a He runs into a team picture of Manuel. The ball came out. Luckily, Jackson Camposano, I think, was there to fall on it for the Tigers. They'll start in Manuel territory at the 49-yard line. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Manuel leading it 10-7. So a couple interesting drives there, Tony. Tigers go right down the field, fumble it at the 2. Manuel able to get out of the shadow of their own end zone, but good field position for the St. X here.
I don't know if the Tigers have the play, but I'd put 3 guys out there, pump it, have one of those 3 guys running down the sideline because Manuel is walking up on the wide receivers.
3 receivers in the pattern here. Yates in the backfield with Havel. Manuel showing blitz. Now they back out of there. Havel, quick throw to the right. It's caught by Harbin. Makes a great move. He's down the right sideline to the 30, to the 25, and caught and pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. The freshman, Marlon Harbin, he decleated one of those Manuel Crimsons who just whiffed, Tony. And Harbin got down to the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 28.
We have Emmanuel Crimson over on the sideline cramping. But Tigers only had 2 receivers out there that time. And they had the same situation they've had with the 3. One guy was off, so they get it out to Harbin. And you're right, John. He made one step fake to the outside, never broke stride, and left one of the Manuel Crimsons over there. So Tigers, great field position at the Manuel 21, and I think they're going to wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a Manuel player down. I think it may be it's Quantez Kelty, who's been in on a lot of tackles here tonight. So they, move him over to the side. Here's Boone back in, keeps it up the middle. He's got 5. He cuts outside, hauled down from behind inside the 15 at about the 12-yard line. So a gain of 9 for Adam Boone, who I'm sure, Tony, wants to make up for that fumble.
Yeah, and everybody in the place is going, protect the ball. While he's running. I was in my mind.
And everybody in red is yelling, it's a running play.
Yeah, and Havel does come back in.
Second and 1, at the 12-yard line. Tigers in the green zone for the 3rd time tonight. Second time this half. Havel, there's the pump fake you talked about. Now he's in trouble. Got to throw it away. He throws it over the head and out of bounds of Marlon Harbin. Smart play by Trevor Havel. They ran the little pump and go there, but it looked like nobody went.
Nobody went. I was getting ready to say it. They did the play I wanted. He pumped to the outside, and when he looked up to throw it, one of the guys didn't read the play or get the play right because nobody went to the end zone, and it was the right call. And Havel's like, where'd everybody go?
It was a good job by Havel to, A, avoid the sack, and B, not make the mistake. Throw it away when you have to. 3rd down and 1. Boone back in at quarterback. He's got Yates with him. He'll fake it to Davis up the middle. 1st down inside the 10. They're ripping at the ball. Big number 58 hanging on for dear life there. That is Christopher Jones, but it's 1st and goal for the Tigers at the 9-yard line. He needed 1. He got 3.
Well, the big man, 6'1", 350, gets a hold of you. You better hang on to the ball. But Tigers now have the ball back down where they want it, and they got 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 1 minute left here in the 3rd. Manuel leads the Tigers 10-7.
Do you throw it with Adam Boone here?
Nope.
Yates is in at running back. 1st and goal at the 9. We near the 1 minute mark. A whistle and a flag.
Wow.
And a false start against the Tigers. 50 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Manuel leads at 10-7.
How many mistakes can the Tigers make tonight?
I don't want to know the answer to that question because they still have a chance to make some more.
Wow.
Move it back to the 14. It's still 1st and goal. Boone will stay in at quarterback.
You have one-on-one with Harbin out on an island.
Camposano is wide to the left. Fake to Yates. Keeper Boone up the middle. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. He dives to the 1-yard line. Just tripped up. And it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1. A gain of 13 yards up the middle from Adam Boone.
Tigers going under center. It's going to be a quarterback sneak. Everybody in the place knows it.
They set up quickly. He keeps it. He's pushed. He is in. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Adam Boone from a yard out. Late 3rd quarter, and St. X has their first lead of the night.
Everybody in the place knew it because Davis Yates walked up about a foot behind Boone. They snapped the ball, and everybody just started pushing. And the Tigers do take the lead with 26 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 13-10 as Logan Zoller will come on to attempt the extra point.
Andrew Cross will snap it. Jackson Camposano will hold it. Big extra point here, Tony, to turn a 3-point lead into a 4-point lead. Good snap, good hold. And as he's been all year, Logan Zoller is true. 14-10 Tigers, 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. You're watching on YouTube on the Tiger Sports Network and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. John, Tony, Jim, and Todd. 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Landon Akers kickoff taken by Aiden Blakey, and he gets across the 30. Nice return out to the 32. Tyler Neal, Michael Curry able to knock him off his feet. But 1st and 10, Tony, after a nice 49-yard drive by the Tigers to take their first lead. If you're St. X now, it's time for the defense to key in and stop Washburn while keeping an eye on those Blakey boys.
Yeah, right after the M&M drive of the night. Now Manuel takes over at their own 32.
Stoner, the freshman, is the quarterback. Pistol formation. He'll give it to Washburn. Running left. Has a hole. Has a big hole. Running down the left sideline. He's across the 40. He'll go out of bounds. Short of the 30-yard line, and a big run on first down.
And there's a flag down in the backfield.
Washburn. And number 7, Stoner, the quarterback, is not heading down there. It's an illegal formation. Wow.
So that means Manuel did not have enough guys on the line of scrimmage as Washburn puts on a show with a move cutting through the Tiger defense. And
about a 38-yard run there, Tony, negated by an insignificant illegal formation because it's not like you had guys running out in a pattern.
The Manuel coaching staff, Coach Stoner is letting the referee have it. But, you know, St. X has made most of the mistakes tonight. And that's the first one that Manuel has really made that's really come back to life.
And I think if you're the Donnie Stoner and the rest of the staff, Tony, you're going to have to settle down. The official is calling for the head referee, or Donnie Stoner is at the yard line calling for the head referee here.
He won't come see him.
Because they don't believe it was an illegal formation. But if you're the coaching staff of Manuel, Tony, you got to be careful here. You can't get a 15-yarder here to take you even further back. It's 1st and 15 at the 27-yard line. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 9 seconds left here in the third quarter. Stoner rolls right, throws, has a man. It's caught at the 40, short of the first down. Christian Coleman in the coverage. Charlie Flowers came back to make his first catch of the night. Third quarter is in the books. Tigers lead it 14-10 with 12 minutes of football to go. We'll take a break. You're watching on the Tiger Sports Network on YouTube and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio.
Experience St. X. Experience the #1 all-boys high school in Kentucky. Experience 19 interscholastic sports. Experience more than 50 electives. Experience the brotherhood.
trainers also provide emergency care, examine medical conditions, provide a clinical diagnosis, develop therapeutic interventions, rehabilitate injuries. Danny McDonald, Evelyn Candy, and Andrew Simon work as part of the greater St. X Sports Medicine team to provide quality medical care.
Start the fourth quarter, St. X with a 14-10 lead, their first lead of the night. Manual with the ball on their own 40-yard line, second down and 2. Tyree Stoner, the freshman, still in at quarterback, or back in at quarterback, I should say, for the Crimsons. And Zeke Washburn has a whole lot of carries tonight. And he'll get another one on 2nd and 2. Tigers had a shot at him in the backfield. He fights his way forward for a couple. That's enough for the first down to the 42-yard line. Not much more than that. Micah Carter, Ashton Jones combined to make the tackle. So 1st and 10 Manual at their own 42.
Well, that was Manuel's 33rd play of the game, and they had 149 yards before that. Tigers have run 46 plays for 211 yards. That's why we have a 14-10 Tiger
And
lead.
here's the question I have, and Todd Father can probably answer this. How many of the 33 offensive plays were runs by Zeke Washburn?
A bunch.
I'm sure it was a bunch. 1st and 10, and wouldn't surprise me to see another one right here. We will not. Stoner throws it to the left. It's caught by Flowers. He gets across the 45, and then he's chopped down at about the 47-yard line, a gain of about 4. Make it 5, and it's 2nd down and 5 for the Crimsons. Coleman with the tackle.
Well, it was just what the Tigers have done all night. Just throw it out in the flat, hope you get something good. The other Manual receiver, Blakey, was kind of confused, but nice job of getting upfield and getting a solid 5 yards on first down.
Flowers and Jeremiah Blakey, along with his brother Aiden, go wide to the right on 2nd down and 5. Here's Washburn running to the right, hit and dropped. Jackson Panarillo, we saw him do it to Luke Sasser a couple weeks ago. He laid the lumber on Washburn there, Tony. Loss of 3, back to the 44. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And that's happened very little tonight. Guys getting hit in the Manual backfield, but Panarillo did come clean from his left outside linebacker spot. So now 3rd and 8 from the 44-yard line.
So now 36 plays, 25 carries for Washburn, Tony.
He's the workhorse.
Blakey, Jeremiah goes wide to the right. Aiden Blakey and Flowers to the left on 3rd down and 8. Washburn in the backfield. Stoner rolling to the right. In trouble. Throws. It is almost intercepted. Tigers had a great zone coverage on Blakey that time as Coleman.
Is it Boggs, John?
And Boggs were back there. Coleman, I think, was behind him. Boggs stepped in front, knocked it down, and almost picked it off. Tyler had a big interception last week.
Went right through his hands. He was just hitting himself on the helmet, but Manuel will have to punt it away as we expect here with 10 minutes left here in the football game, and has not been the strength tonight for the Crimson.
Hutchinson will kick it from his own 30. Mark stands back at his own 27. They have faked one punt tonight, but Washburn's not the up back this time. Low snap. Good job by Hutchinson to get it out of there, but it is high and short, and it bounces near a couple of Tigers and rolls out of bounds on the Manual sideline at about the 32-yard line. 24-yard kick there officially and no return. And St. X will start at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, if you're the Tigers, that's what you needed right there. You got to stop. Now you got to move the football. You want to flip the field. Plus, you want to run a little clock and hopefully go down and get some points, and stretch this thing out. 14-10 Tigers, 9:51 left in the football game.
And you challenge your O-line a little bit here, Tony. Protect the quarterback and open some holes for the running game.
Michael Curry in the game for the Tigers.
3 receivers to the right. Tight end left is Wolford. The throw is caught by Camposano, and he's drilled. Gets away from the defender.
They blew the whistle.
They blew the whistle as Camposano got out of the tackle, but they're going to say he was stopped. His forward progress was stopped at the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a couple. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12. That time the Crimsons got up and were able to avoid the block and make the tackle.
I'm just afraid they're going to jump one of those.
Havel in the shotgun. He's got 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Curry in the backfield. Manuel dropping out of a blitz look. Quick throw to the right. Caught by Harbin. Dives forward across the 40 out to the 41-yard line, maybe the 42. Marlon Harbin, that's just a quick out, Tony, and a quick move by the freshman. He's done that a couple times tonight. It's a gain of 10, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Well, that's Marlon's 5th catch of the night for 68 yards.
Gain of 11, actually.
Well, let's give him 69 yards.
Curry in the backfield with Havel on 3rd and 1, a whistle and a timeout. I think the Tigers took it here. If you're Manuel, Tony, you're going to just play the run here, and I think Kevin Wallace saw that and said, let's talk it over. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Thomas More Stadium, 8:49 to play, 3rd and 1 Tigers. And the timeout was to get Adam Boone in at quarterback here, Tony. Boone's got Yates with him. He hasn't given it to him yet. Crimson's come up. They've got 9 in the box. Here's Boone running left, lowers his shoulder, and he's got the 1st down easily out to the 45-yard line. Needed a yard, got 3. It's 1st and 10 Tigers, and Trevor Havel will come back in and tell Adam Boone to go play wide receiver some more.
Well, basically the Tigers say, we're going to run Adam Boone. Can you stop us? And the Tigers get the ball out to the 45-yard line.
Havel got 3 to the left and 1 to the right. That's Marlon Harbin. Here comes pressure up the middle. Throw down the middle. It's Wolford. He's got the 1st down. He's close to the 1st down at the 45-yard line of Manuel. Nolan Wolford in the slot. Tony just stepped in, and a great job, great read by both he and Havel.
Well, hopefully I know a little bit about football because both linebackers came and they threw it in the vacant area.
1st and 10, gain of 10. They give him the spot to the Manuel 45-yard line. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Yates is in the backfield with Boone back in at quarterback. Adam takes a snap. Looked like he was going to pass. Now he pulls it down and runs to the right. He's across the 40. The pile is moving him across the 35. And a 1st down to the 33-yard line. Adam Boone, he faked to the left, but there wasn't a receiver out there. So I don't know if the fake worked at all. But it did allow him to go up the middle for 13 yards to the Manuel 32. 8:07 to go. Clock continues to run.
Big Tommy Rosenbarger got him behind him and got that train moving.
Yates in the backfield with him. Fake to Yates. Boone up the middle. He's across the 30 and now pushed back as he got to the 29. Townsend, Kelty among those in on the tackle for the Crimsons. They'll give him the 29-yard line, Tony, so it's a gain of 3 for Boone. 2nd down and 7.
I think Boone's a little bit tired there. He does not want to give that football up. I don't know if it's a direct play to him.
Is it designed that way?
We don't know.
Empty backfield here. Havel back in at quarterback. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Points out a linebacker and looks to the sideline. Trevor talking to, it looks like Wolford in the slot to the left. Takes a snap. Wants to throw. Has all day. Throws. He's got Marks, who's smoked again at the 20-yard line, but a great throw, late slant from Zach Marks. And he's got the 1st down to the 19-yard line, a gain of 10. Tigers in the green zone.
Well, Trevor Havel showed some strength in his arm right there. He threw
a missile, yeah.
And Marks a great catch as he got hit. Tigers get the 1st down at the Manual 19.
Havel stays in at quarterback. This time he's going to hand it off to Curry. He's got some room on the left side down to the 15. Gang tackled. The pile moves a little bit, but they'll spot it at the 15-yard line. I think that was Michael Curry, the sophomore. It was. It's a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Nearing the 6.5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Tigers lead at 14-10.
Went off the left side off Rosenberger and Gilliam. Tigers chewing up clock here, too, as they move the football down to the 15-yard line.
Boone back in, and a little substitution issues there with Manuel, and Donnie Stoner. Sure, he didn't want to, Tony, but he's forced to use one of his team's 3 timeouts here.
Yeah, that's not when you want to use it with 6.5 minutes left in the football game. But if you're Coach Stoner, you cannot give up a touchdown right here. And Tigers have done a great job of moving the football. Most of it has been by Adam Boone running the football, but the big play was the pass from Havel to Marks for the first down.
That was the big pickup by Marlon Harbin down here on a pass earlier in the series. I think it was 2nd and 12, and he got 11 yards out of it. So just, again, not dynamic big plays, but big plays when they happen. And Tigers have been really good at that in the second half.
Well, Marlon Harbin's going to be like Darnell Valentine, as we always like to throw in there. He's going to be around for a long time. Other schools are going to be saying, when will he be gone?
When's that guy graduate?
Marlon's only a freshman, and he shows why he's out here on the field. Great kid, great competitor, and we've seen what he can do on the football field.
So Curry got 4 yards before Manuel's timeout. Tigers have it in the green zone at the 15. It is 2nd down and 6, 6:24 to go here in the fourth quarter, leading at 14-10. Boone back in at quarterback. Davis Yates to his left. Adam takes a snap. Quarterback draw, not much there. Fights across the 15. And he got 3 yards out of nothing, Tony. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, just sort of escaped for a second and dove to the 12. It's a gain of 3, brings up 3rd down and 3. Well, I'm just going to run it twice here, and if I don't get the first down, maybe run it once here. If I don't get it, I'm going to kick the field goal.
Yeah, Dominic Shoulders had a hold of him, the big defensive end, and Boone just decided he was going to get a few more yards.
Boone,
3.
Boone in at quarterback. Pistol this time. He's got Yates behind him. He hands it to Davis Yates. Running right, lowers his shoulder, has the first down, hanging onto the football. There is a flag down.
It was motion. Tigers looked like they were out of sync.
He got down to the 6-yard line, which would have been plenty for the first down, but again, this one's going to come back. Illegal formation against the Tigers. So a first down now called back. 3rd and 3 will be 3rd and 8 back at the 17-yard line.
Just little things. They've killed both teams, just little things, and Tigers would have had the first down inside. Gosh. So with 5:40, though, Tigers still have the ball. It's going to be 3rd and 8 from the Manuel 17-yard line. Tigers lead 14-10.
And I'm kind of surprised, Tony, we're not seeing Trevor Havel back in here on this 3rd down. 3rd down and 8.
Well, Tigers are going to have to use a timeout here. They look confused.
They are ready to go now as back judge still hasn't raised his hand.
Do you have Boone throw it?
I don't think so. Adam takes a snap. He's going to run, but a whistle before the play gets underway, and another flag against the Tigers.
They did not look ready. They looked confused, and then they move again.
False start. Pre-snap penalties. We've talked about it all year. No excuse for it.
Well, what's happening here is you're making a field goal a lot tougher, and now you got 3rd and 13 from the 22-yard line, and you cannot take negative yardage here. And Boone is still in the game at quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to run the football. There's no doubt in my mind. You're trying to get as much yardage as you can for Logan Zoller here. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Boone wants to throw it. They set up the screen. It's caught, but hit immediately and dropped at the 22-yard line. No gain on the play. I like the call. Wolford made the catch, but Manuel played it well, and that'll bring up 4th down. Do you kick the field goal here, Tony? It's a 40-yarder.
Well, I see 47 trotting out on the field, so I'm going to say yes.
Clock continues to move here. 5:10 to play. Tigers trying to turn a 4-point lead into a 7-point lead here. Andrew Cross will snap it. Jackson Camposano will put it down right on the 30. It's a 40-yard attempt for Logan Zoller. Good snap. Good hold. Got enough leg. It is no good. He missed it wide to the left. First miss of the year for Logan Zoller. He's been money. The ball was near the left hash mark, and he just pushed it that way a little bit.
Well, John, the good part about that is in high school football,
20-yard line.
It's a touchback. So Manuel will get the ball to 20-yard line.
They still need a touchdown, but now it's to win it and not just tie it.
And that's where those penalties kill you. I'm not saying he might not have made it from 10 yards up, but each one of those, and the screenplay was a great call, I thought,
agree.
too.
Yeah.
One of the offensive linemen looked confused because they threw the ball, and he was like, I can't catch it. And I think he should have been out there blocking.
So 1st and 10 Manual at their own 20-yard line, 4:45 to go. They trail it by 4, and they've got 2 timeouts left.
You got to be careful. Manuel went deep early in the game.
Tyree Stoner, the quarterback, 1 receiver each way. Washburn in the backfield. Play action. Wants to throw it deep toward Blakey. It is incomplete. Good coverage by Coleman. He was all over Jeremiah Blakey. Boggs got there late to help. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And Stoner didn't even look. He faked it and turned around and threw it and hoped his receiver was there. It was a good pass, but in that situation, you got to be careful. You can't just turn and throw it up in the air and hope your guy's there.
Good coverage by Christian Coleman. It's 2nd and 10. Clock stops, 4:40 to play. 2 to the right, and now Jeremiah Blakey comes wide to the left. Fitzgerald's got the coverage on that side. He comes up in coverage. Press coverage here. Stoner takes a snap, wants to throw it again. Pulls it down, running away from Carter, and he steps out of bounds. Minimal gain there for Tyree Stoner, if at all. They'll give him a couple of yards out to the 22-yard line and bring up 3rd and 8.
Well, he looked down the field to his right, didn't have anybody. Tigers did put a little bit of pressure on him, so Stoner just runs to the sideline. So a huge play in this football game with 4:33 left. Tigers lead 14-10 over the Crimsons from Manual. 3rd and 8 from the Manual 22-yard line.
He did get out of bounds to stop the clock. Now 2 receivers to the right. That's the short side of the field. 1-on-1 to the left here, Tony. Blakey against Coleman. Looking that way. Instead, it's a screen to Jesse, the tight end, and he is wrapped up by Henry Murr, Tony, in there for pass defense. Saw it the whole way. It's a 3-yard loss back to the 19. What a play by Henry Murr.
The senior middle linebacker read that perfectly, wrapped him up. So now Manual, what do you do if you're Manual?
You got to kick it.
You got to, or the game's over. And
you got to kick it, and you use your 2 timeouts on defense here, and you got to stop St. X if you're Manual.
And I tell Zach Marks, do not catch the ball unless it's just punted right to you. And the rest of the guys just stay up here and just make sure nothing stupid happens.
Hutchinson in to kick. He's standing back at his 5-yard line. Clock, by the way, is continuing to move with 3:45 to play. Got to make sure Washburn's not the up back. He's not. Good snap. Hutchinson boots it out of there. Tried to draw the flag and did not. Fair catch by Marks at the 46. I give Hutchinson credit. Panarillo kind of brushed into him. He fell like a sniper got him.
Well, Panarillo was being blocked, and they just kind of ran into him. But he did. He went down like somebody shot him. So not a great punt again. So Tigers will take over at the Manual 46-yard line. 3:31 left in the game. Tigers have a 4-point lead.
And Kevin Wallace has his offense around him, probably telling his line, guys, 1 first down all but does it here. Let's get a first down, make them use their timeouts.
Who do you think's going to have the ball?
If Boone's in, it'll be Boone. Havel's in at quarterback.
He is.
So it'll be Yates on his first play. I mean, I'm not saying I can call it, but I think I can call it. I don't want to get cute and throw that quick throw to the left or right here. Yates is in the pistol behind Havel. In motion from left to right. They give it to Yates. Up the middle, big hole. He's across the 40, 35, down near the 30-yard line. Good blocking at the point of attack, Tony. They ran a jet sweep guy in motion, faked it to him. That may have held the linebackers long enough to give Yates a hole.
Well, one of the safeties followed the motion guy and blitzed on the outside, but when they didn't get him, they opened up the back of the play, and Tigers get the ball down to the Manual 30-yard line, and they're in no hurry right now after the clock starts, and it just started rolling with 3:20 left in this football game.
Gain of 16 for Logan Davis Yates. His longest run of the night. It is first down and 10 at the 30. And again, this is Boone back in at quarterback. This is when you watch the back judge, right?
When he raises his arm, you call your cadence and go.
Yates in the backfield. This is pistol formation. H-back position is Nolan Wolford, the tight end. Manual fans can yell all they want, but until that back judge raises his arm.
He does.
Or your coach calls a timeout, that clock's going to continue to run. Handoff, Yates. This time Boone gave it to Yates. He runs right. He's got a first down. He's to the 20, 15, to the 10. You want him to go down in bounds. He got pushed out of bounds, but that's okay because, Tony, he just got 24 yards down to the 6-yard line.
Well, Davis Yates ran into the line of scrimmage. He kind of got lost behind the offensive line, bounced it in the Manual defensive backfield, did not pick him up in time. So Yates takes the ball down to the 6-yard line, where the Tigers will go first and goal from the 6-yard line with 2:34 left in this big football game between the number one and number 2
now,
team.
Protect the football, right?
Yep.
Boone's at quarterback. Yates is behind him. First time he's handed it to Davis. In motion is Harbin. Fake it to him. Give it to Yates. Touchdown, St. X Tigers. Right up the middle. That is the M&M Cartage drive of the game.
Well, all they did was they brought Harbin in motion, showed the motion, ran him right off of Rosenbarger and Gilliam, and he walks into the end zone with 2:29 left in the football game. Tigers go up 20-10, and Logan Zoller will be on to try to stretch it out to an 11-point lead.
And with 2:29 left, the fans start to head out. Boy, Tony, that's the Logan Yates drive. He went 16, 24, 6. Touchdown.
Yeah, Davis looked good there.
Did I call him Logan again? I don't know what the. I remember Logan Davis. That's why I'm doing it. It's my sometimers kicking in.
Well,
Logan Zoller good with the extra point. It's 21-10 Tigers. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Jim and Todd, along with Trevor back in the studio. A short high kick. It looked like it was done intentionally by Landon Akers. It's taken by Jeremiah Blakey at about the 15. He crosses the field, Tony, and gets out to about the 40-yard line. Good return. Emmanuel down 11 now, Tony, with 2:22 to play. 2 timeouts. You can't afford to just hand it to Zeke Washburn anymore.
No, John, and the Tiger defensive backfield has to understand if anybody catches the ball, it has to be in front of the safeties and then make a tackle.
Let me ask you this. When it's over 4 minutes to go, were you surprised on the last Manual drive they didn't at least give it to Washburn once? It was 3 plays, 3 pass plays called, and
what they haven't done,
at
John, they have not thrown him the ball out of the backfield. Wouldn't you swing him out into the flat and try to get him in some space?
Yeah, if he can catch it, we know he can run with it. First and 10, Stoner in at quarterback. Washburn in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. Tigers going to be soft here defensively, you would think. Now Washburn comes out of the backfield, goes wide to the right. It's an empty backfield. Tigers bring 4. Stoner in trouble. Panarillo's got him, and down he goes at the line of scrimmage. He was able to fight his way back across the 40 for a yard, but the clock will continue to run with 2:10 to play.
Real quick from over at Shelbyville Road. Bad snap. Safety. Rocks lead 9-7 with 5:55 in the third quarter against Ballard.
Second down and 9, and the clock's under 2 minutes. Manuel in no hurry here. Rolling left is Stoner. Pressure from Erhan. He throws. He's got his man who's tripped up. Maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally. Jason Appel, as he was going to the ground, kind of stuck a leg out. And Artemis Hines with his first catch of the night, first down across midfield to the 49.
And Manuel's still not going fast.
Yeah, the clock's not moving, and I don't know why. There we go. Referee starts it. Stoner, quick throw to the right. Caught. Blakey, the other Blakey, Aiden, he's inside the 40, brought down. He's got a first down to the 37-yard line. Clock stops to move the chains. But again, Tiger defense just going to play a little prevent here.
I expect Panarello to be coming on this one.
Boggs with the tackle. And again, they're looking to the sideline to get the play. You got to have plays
Already have the
here.
play. Look at this.
1:25 to go.
They're running guys around. The clock's running.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Washburn in the backfield. Pressure up the middle. A hold on the left side, but no flag. Panarello got held. High one down the left sideline, but out of bounds. Intended for Blakey.
Look at Panarello.
Panarello was it was a rodeo. It would have been a great wrangle by that offensive lineman for Manuel. But no flag. Pass is incomplete. Blakey did get behind the defense, but Stoner, the pressure, he threw it out of bounds. 1:08 to go. Clock stopped. 2nd and 10. Ball still at the St. X 37-yard line.
There should be so much cushion out there that there's no way he runs past you. But Panarello came from his outside linebacker spot, the big right tackle.
Got hog tied.
Just reached out and grabbed him. And Panarello looked at the head referee like,
what are you looking at?
Why didn't you throw a flag?
2nd down and 10. Because of the incompletion, they have the time to huddle up, call a play. 3 to the left, including Jeremiah Blakey. He's the widest. 1 receiver to the right. 2nd and 10. Stoner rolling left. Pressure comes. He is hit and dropped. Back of the 45-yard line.
Eli Monks.
Eli Monks, Henry Murr, and Micah Carter were there as well. There's a timeout called by Manuel with 54 seconds to go. We'll take a 30-second break as well. Tigers trying to wrap this one up. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. After the second timeout of the night of the second half called by Donnie Stoner, the Manual coach, 54 seconds to go. Crimson's with the ball at the St. X 45, but they're facing a 3rd and 18 here, trailing 21-10. And Tony, look who's out here on coverage on the receiver, Jackson Panarello. Now he's creeping toward the line of scrimmage. He won't go. Stoner throws it high and deep. There's a receiver. It's Blakey. He catches it at the 5, and he's tackled at the 2. How do you get that far behind the Tiger defense?
Well, I just talked about the safeties cannot come up, and they came up, and they just threw it over the top of them. So this game's not officially over. It looked like it was, and the Tigers just let them run behind them.
45 seconds. They move the chains. Clock will start. Stoner gives it to Washburn. He's hit and dropped short of the goal line, so Manuel's going to have to use their final timeout, and they will. Well, that's big, Tony, to keep Washburn out of the end zone there. He did get inside the 1-yard line. Panarello with the stop. 37 seconds to go, and the Crimsons use their final timeout. Well, here's the scenario. Tigers lead it by 11. If Manuel scores here, obviously they go for 2, and then you know where you sit, whether it's 21-16 or 21-18, and you expect the onside kick, of course.
Exactly, but that can't happen.
No.
I mean, he was 10 yards behind the safeties. I mean, he literally was 10 yards behind. I know they're kids, but your responsibility
there's
is
only
safety.
one rule at this point.
At this point, nobody gets behind you. You don't worry about guys cutting across the middle. You don't worry about it. And
you want them cutting across the middle.
Yes, and you want to tackle them. So with 37 seconds, Tigers still have an 11-point lead. They have not given up a touchdown. The defense has not. But now Manuel has an opportunity from the 1-yard line.
And keep this in mind. If the Crimsons don't get in here, clock's not going to stop.
If they run it.
Unless it's an incomplete pass play. Pistol formation. Stoner gives it to Washburn. He runs into the middle, and he is not going to get in. Stopped short of the goal line. Crimson's got to go quickly with 26 seconds, no timeouts. It is 3rd and goal at the 1, and the official not helping them. Stoner takes a snap. They were moving. The offensive line was moving. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Clock is down to 16 seconds. We'll give the defense credit. They give up the long play, and they do not let they do not let Zeke Washburn into the end zone. Evan Washburn is a great announcer, but Zeke Washburn has been really good tonight for Manuel.
No, he's really good, but that's the chance you take when you run the football on the interior.
Yeah.
If you don't get in, and now
after the penalty, they move it to the 6, so it's 3rd and goal at the 6. You have to throw the football here. And it goes over the snap goes over Stoner's head. He's being chased. He'll throw it late, and it's going to be knocked down. Should have been picked off. Panarillo could have caught that in the breadbasket. 3rd down. Maybe he thought it was 4th down. He just knocked it to the turf, Tony. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be a fun film session on Monday.
I mean, I know what he's thinking. You know, don't do something and give them a chance.
Don't let them catch it.
But if you catch it, you just fall down.
6 seconds to go on the incompletion. Clock stopped. The snap went over Stoner's head. He did a great job, Tony, of chasing it down and just throwing it up for grabs.
He did. And basically, even if Manuel scores here, this game's over with 6 seconds. So Tiger defense, I know, has a lot of pride, and they don't want to give up a score here. But 6 seconds left in the game. Tigers lead by 11.
4th and goal for the Crimsons at the 6. I think we're going to get a little fade pattern to Jeremiah Blakey here. We'll see. Stoner takes a snap, rolls right, throws intended for Blakey, incomplete, no flag. Good coverage. It was intended for Flowers. Christian Coleman had great coverage on him. And that will turn it over on downs. 2 seconds to go. Tigers will take a knee here and get out of here with a hard-earned 21-10 victory.
Well, John, I know the pride of the Tiger defense I just talked about did not want to give up that score. Yeah. And now they just take a knee. They move on. They'll have the lead in the district. PRP is hammering Butler at halftime, 36-0 last I saw. So this game will end here. Tigers will win it 21-10.
And Manuel will take on Pleasure Ridge Park next week. The Tigers will travel to Butler to take on the Bears. This is a great game. Been a great game. And we expected a defensive game. Tony, that's what we've seen. Tiger offense. Oh, my goodness. Havel almost took a knee in the end zone.
I think he did, John. And the Manuel coaches.
I don't think the officials are paying attention to it. It doesn't matter because the clock was at 0. In any event, the officials are going to talk it over here.
Well, I think they're.
It doesn't matter. The only thing that it would do would change the final score from 21-10 to 21-12. But in any event, Tigers win it here tonight. It looks like the referees are going to say, doesn't matter, it's 21-10. And you take control of the district here tonight.
You do. And can I say one thing about that
You
play?
can say anything.
Why don't you put Adam Boone in the game and go under center and not snap the ball back to the goal line? But, no, Tigers do take command of the district. These are the top 2 teams. Manuel loses their first game tonight. Both teams are 6-1. Tigers started slowly tonight.
And, Tony, after what we've seen this year, these might be the 2 best 6A teams in the state.
Oh, I think by far. Now, don't sleep on Trinity
or Mail.
Mail. We know that every year. Just a good Manual football team. The problem both teams have. Manual has a great running back.
Yeah,
but how much more can they do besides for Washburn? Tigers have to use 2 quarterbacks. Those are the things that would scare me if I'm both head coaches when it gets down to crunch time.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout here, Trevor, and come back to wrap things up. Tigers win it 21-10. You're listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Back at St. X, John, Tony, Jim, and Todd as the crowd is filing out. Tigers win it tonight over Manual 21-10. Said it before the break, maybe the two best teams in 6A here tonight, Tony. Defense ruled the day. The Crimsons scored 10 points. 7 of them was a fumble return. The Tigers had 21 points. Adam Boone, Trevor Havel did what they had to do. Davis, Yates was great late.
Marvin
and the
Harbin.
biggest play of the game, the touchdown to Zach Marks with 7 seconds to go in the first half, because you go into the locker room with momentum, a momentum that Manual had the entire first half.
Well, it changed the whole complexion of the game. Manual dominates the first half. Tigers slow down, get the touchdown, cut it to 3. And then the Tiger defense did a great job in the second half, and the offense got going. Tigers had actually over 300 yards of total offense, ran more plays than Manual. But Zeke Washburn is a really good player. But the Tiger defense pitches no touchdowns tonight.
Yep.
They gave up the field goal. And like you said, third play of the game was the fumble by Havel that Manual ran 40 yards for a touchdown. So Tigers pick it up in the second half, and they take over in the second half where Manual pretty much dominated the first half.
Opening drive of the second half, St. X drives all the way down the field, takes about 6 minutes off the clock. They have the fumble at the 2-yard line. They allow Manual to get away from their own end zone there. Could have gone another way. But I will give the offense a lot of credit. When they got the ball back, they made things happen.
They did. And when Adam Boone, the pass that Havel threw was a great pass. Threw a couple great passes and on the money to Marks. But Adam Boone kind of took over the game running the football. And then Davis Yates became the man on that drive. So Boone and Yates were pretty much the offense down at the end of the game. And that pretty much shut the door on the Manual Crimsons.
And if things go as we expect them to go now, if you're St. X, you avoid having to go to Mail in round 2 of the playoffs. It looks like Manual, in all likelihood, will have to travel to Mail final week of the regular season. Then second week of the playoffs, they'll have to have a return trip to Mail if all the seeding holds to form, and we certainly expect that it will.
And I know PRP, they can score points. They're beating up on Butler tonight, but it will, if things do go the way we expect it to, that will happen. But RPI tonight was huge for the Tigers.
Yes.
So I would assume they will jump Manual on the RPI with the win tonight.
And if you're number 1 in the RPI, guess what? You get a whole lot of home games in the playoffs.
And, we've had a lot of home games this year because of the schedule last year. We'll go to Butler, but we'll come back for 2 more games here and then hopefully ride it all the way like we did last year down to K. Roger Field.
2 more regular season games here in the Kroger broadcast booth. But next week, we head to Butler to take on the Butler Bears. This is a get-well week, Tony. If you've got any nicks or bruises, you don't play against the Butler Bears next week. No disrespect, but we can see the scoreboard and see how they've been playing this year.
Yeah, they've struggled, and the Bears they're getting beat bad tonight by by PRP. So that kind of gives you what's going on next week. But we'll be out at Butler. We go out there and we'll stand on the ledge out there, and hopefully you don't fall off. And
I hope not.
We do.
It's happened before.
Take it on 6-1, both these two teams, and Tigers get the victory tonight, 21-10.
We will take our time here to thank Kevin Holzman, Brian Mitchell, Efren Carino, all the camera guys, all the St. X students, including Matt Lynn, for all the help tonight. Trevor Kelsey back at the studio on the radio side. We send our thanks to him. For Jim Brinkman, Todd Powers, Tony Burke, John Spears saying so long. Final score here once again tonight, St. X 21, Manual 10. You've been watching on the Tiger Sports Network on YouTube and listening to St. X High School football on Big X Sports Radio. Good night, everybody.